All right, it's Good Friends, Good Games. It's episode 57. I'm so fucking jealous of Dill.
Why?
Because Dill's over here bragging about how he's on a seafood diet, and if he sees it, he eats it. But for those of you that have never seen Dill in person, he is literally skinny, like skinny mini.
I got a bit of timber.
This man put down so much Korean barbecue at the table. And I'm just like, fucker, I'm so jealous. That shit went to my ass for like 3 days.
Is that a bad thing?
Yeah.
That just means there's more for Pow.
Yes, there's some more surface area if she gets into pegging.
Yeah, what the fuck? Jesus Christ. No, that's not happening. Oh my God.
I mean, it spiced up the relationship, you know? You've been together for a while.
So
we love Pow. We love Pow.
Yeah, we love Pow. I adore Pow. Pre-show talk was Zenith has apparently won a free pasta with beef and peppers.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks stoked about it.
Free food is
that's why
always
we're in the
good.
soup.
Okay, so here yes, Zenith is wearing a sports coat today. He is dressed up. Okay, what I want to know is, I want to know the initial investment here. So, you bought a sandwich? Is that what you said? You bought a sandwich in order to get the scratcher?
I got a double bacon carbonara pasta.
Okay.
In a chicken and with Alfredo sauce.
Okay.
Nice.
So it was a lunch special. It was about $16.99, and all I got really got was coffee. Now the thing is though, this is a dinner menu item, meaning that the dinner menu item actually costs like $23.99.
Hey,
Okay.
so you're up. You're up.
Mm-hmm. So I go there and I'm like, I'll just take your water. I left my wallet at home. Shoot, but I have to tip the server. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because of the current economic situations in the world now, Pow is now investigating like lotto people and how they win. And she's like, I want to know what their initial investment was. Like, are they buying like one ticket a week? Are they buying multiples a week? Like, like, okay, so you find out like, obviously someone wins like the $300 million prize or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Her question is like, how many tickets did they buy to get like to get that winning ticket? Did they really get like the one ticket and then that was the winner, or is it and then how much per ticket
thing?
Yeah, or how much per ticket, like, or how much did they put on the ticket? Because you can go and get one ticket, but it's got like 5 plays or 10 plays or whatever. It's like $1 a play, $2 a play. And so now she's kind of like diving into that whole thing. Like, I want to know how much it costs these people to win this millions of dollars. And I'm like, more than I want to spend.
Yeah. Same for me. My mom used to take part in, she used to every so often get a lottery ticket for what was called the Euro Million lottery.
Ooh.
Which is a lottery which is, as suggested, is both in the UK and in the whole of Europe, and anyone in our area can win it. And it's like hundreds of millions of dollars, of like pounds or euros, basically, for one of these ones. And if someone doesn't win it, like the first rollout, they'll add everything from that was they'll add more to it until eventually someone wins it, so it gets like ridiculously high how much you can win on it. But it's like ridiculously hard to also win because it's lottery.
Yeah, that's your guys' version. That's basically your version of our Mega Millions. So like Mega Millions is one that's across the country. That's why Mega Millions is so hard to win, because it's open to the whole country. Whereas you have ones like the Fantasy 5 or whatever and stuff like that, that's only open to California residents. So your odds are theoretically better, but still nearly impossible. But yeah, Mega Millions is nearly impossible.
Yeah, our version is the Lotto Max.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Someday, guys. Yeah. Someday.
Well, the Grand National was on today as well. So like everyone was betting on the horses.
I've never been into horses.
Bet on Huns. I want to bet on Hans. I would love to actually experience that one day.
What,
I'll wear
horse
the
racing?
suit jacket. Yeah, bet on a horse racing.
Go to Grand National in a nice suit and everything like that, and then betting on a horse.
Yeah.
I got an idea.
Yeah.
I got an idea. All right, we'll go to the horse races, right? Like what? Like you said, the Grand National or the one Xena said. We'll go to the horse races, right? We'll go in suits, and then we'll get Morgan and we'll get Pow and Everest and all them, and they have to wear the big old like hats.
Oh yeah,
the fancy suits, the fancy suit dresses with the big hats.
Yeah, they need to
with the fucking umbrella and everything.
Yeah,
like full on rich people vibe.
Yeah, we have to dress like we're like the. We have to dress like we're from the 1930s.
Yes.
Yep. Exactly.
May come back.
Yeah, Victorian era fucking fuck
Yeah.
you money rich.
Yes.
Also, we do have to make an exception though, because Morgan's the shortest, therefore she has to wear one of those like ball caps with like the little spinny hat.
Spinny hat. What?
She has to be like the little toddler say, "Ooh, what's that, Papa? I see a horse."
Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus. Oh my God. Anyway, yeah, I'm jealous of your free pasta. Congratulations.
Pasta.
Thank you.
Invested, eat it wisely. I've never gotten any free shit like that. I've always it's the fucking you go and I don't know if you guys have them at your places, but you go and they give you you buy your first order there, and then they give you some card, and then you scratch off one every time or punch it, the whole punch card. They'll punch off one, and then you buy 30 meals from them. They'll give you a free small fry or some shit like that.
Subway used to do that over here.
Also, the footlongs are back. They're not $4.99 or not $5 anymore or whatever, but they're I think it was $7 or something like that. That's the new discounted price.
When did the footlong go away in the US?
The footlong never went away. The $5 price did.
The footlong's still here.
Yeah. Oh,
yes.
I hear what he's doing. I see what he's doing.
And it fits very well.
Anyway. Welcome everyone. If you're catching us on Twitch right now, we appreciate you watching on YouTube, listening to Spotify, Apple, wherever you hang out and check us out. Thank you. We appreciate it. It is Nintendo Switch 2 launch week.
Wow.
Dill's got the hat.
Not launch week, but announcement week.
Announcement week. I'm sorry. It is Nintendo Switch 2 announcement week.
We got a bit more time before it's actually launch week. Don't panic, listeners. You still have a bit of time to save up some money.
yeah, you have time to save up, we'll get into that shit in a minute.
Yeah.
But you got time to save money. Yeah, by the time you listen to this, you'll be about 2-3 weeks out. So Dill's got the Mario Kart hat from Universal Studios Hollywood.
Yes.
Super Mario World. Zenith's got a sports jacket. He's looking announcer friendly. I'm still wearing the same shit I always do.
Casual.
Anyway. Before we get there, Dill, what have you been up to?
Honestly, all I've done the last 2 weeks is that I've worked on my Divertica video for YouTube, and that's really it. And then just worked in real life. That's all I've done in my life. I've been hard at work at that. I've been hard at work at work. And I've just been kind of just doing in real life stuff and everything, just chores around the house, making sure bills are paid, and that's really all I've done.
Doesn't it suck? Doesn't adulthood suck?
Yeah. The good news is though that I am going to be going to do something in about less than 2 weeks time that I will be able to talk about. But
Ooh.
This time around, I've just been adulting. That's all I've been doing, along with working on a YouTube video that I'm I think at the moment I'm about nearly a fifth done with it. So yeah,
dude, adulting sucks. Adulting really does suck.
Yeah,
it
does.
How about you, Zenith? What have you been up to?
Pretty much like all my efforts really just gone into content stuff. I got and just trying to make sure that I got like that coordinating to get like new artwork on the way. So that's taking a lot of time. I'm preparing for like a race tomorrow that I'm supposed to be doing. So like I have like this giant spreadsheet with like notes because I'm doing like a randomizer race of Donkey Kong Country 2. And I'm racing like a bunch of other content creators. So and the thing is though, like it's an entrance randomizer, so like any barrel takes you anywhere. So I need like a giant spreadsheet and like a checklist of like what I need to do and what I haven't done. And if that wasn't already frying my brain, if that hasn't fried my brain already, last weekend I just finished up what's called an archipelago. So an archipelago is also when we get to the game segment, I'm not going to bother talking about it. But anyway, so for this, it was 19 people.
Okay.
And so basically 19 people, they all have a specific game that is actually randomized. So we had let me get my big list of games that everyone is playing.
This is incredible. See, like I may sound organized, but like I don't have massive spreadsheets and shit like Zenith has going down. I've got little notepads and stuff.
I have Word documentation.
we had so I was the only one playing Zelda Link to the Past. Mm-hmm. We had about like 5 or 6 people playing Zelda Ocarina of Time. We had 2 people playing Pokemon Emerald. We had Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. We had Terraria. We had Super Mario 64. We had Hollow Knight. We had we had 2 people playing Super Metroid, and one of them was actually playing like the one where you actually got to play both like Super Metroid and Link to the Past in like the same world.
Yeah, the random like that. I don't know if it's technically called a randomizer, but it's like a randomizer crossover.
No, it's a randomizer. No, it's a randomizer. So like you have to go collect items between like both worlds. So that's so if you think of that randomizer, that is the concept of archipelago, where for example, I would find an item in a dungeon, and it would be for, let's pretend like for Morgan, it would be her it would be like something she needs for Terraria, and then she would find something. It would be like Jake's something for Minecraft, and vice versa. And so it took place over about like 4 days, and we all managed to finish it, and it was probably the most fun I've had, and I can't wait to do more.
Nice.
But it was a lot of work.
It's a race to the end, basically. Whoever makes it first is at the top of the leaderboard, isn't it?
No. There's no leaderboard. It is just everyone trying to help each other. So it was kind of interesting because some people finished like after just like 24 hours, and then there were some Morgan that was stuck playing their game until like the last day. So what's actually quite interesting is during this, so like if you do all your things, if you do as much as you can, you will hit a point where you can't make any more progress, and you must wait until another player finds your item in a different game. So for example, I was waiting for the lamp from someone's Pokemon game. So and I believe Super Mario 64 had my Master Sword, and Morgan's Terrarium had somebody else's bomb bag, and that actually really like blew their game open, wide open. They were actually able to do stuff. So basically, when you're in this, I'm pretty new to Archipelago, and people are saying, "Oh, I'm in BK mode," and I didn't know what that was. So BK, so does that mean you're blocked? And Morgan joked him, "Oh, it means Burger King."
Nice.
And that's actually what it is.
What?
BK mode actually means Burger King mode.
Okay, so what is contained in Burger King mode?
So when you're in Burger King mode, it means you can't do anything. So It means get up and go get yourself some Burger King and come back and
Nice.
and hopefully you have some checks.
Nice.
So
Okay.
I was terrorizing my chat for an entire weekend with a very cursed image of the Burger King mascot.
Huh.
Oh God, the 2000s era
that
one.
Yeah, the king. Yes,
The king.
The
oh
king.
my God.
What about on
So
the stream?
the entire weekend, people were trying to coming up with new ways to like cover my screen so they didn't have to look at the Burger King mascot. Because I had him like
my
all
God.
like fucking deep fried and shit. So anyway, it was a very fun time.
Oh God, that is a memory that has been unlocked that I haven't thought about in like 10 years. That fucking Burger King.
He's coming for you now, Eric.
Yeah,
God,
even
yeah.
Morgan and Damie just like, please stop mentioning this fucking Burger King.
It's like The Ring. He just comes out of like the TV, haunts me,
7
offers me
days.
Burger King, a Whopper. I finally found peace again. Why would you bring this up? Because that's what we're here to discuss. We're discuss what we do.
Stuff. Yes.
Pow and I went to WonderCon Anaheim over the last weekend. That is basically the sister convention to Comic-Con in San Diego. We only went the one day this year because we were trying to not spend too much money, and then tickets are getting expensive.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, gentlemen, I did not buy any comic books this run. I was a good boy and I behaved. We did not buy any comic books this run, but we did see one of my favorite artists there. I believe I showed their artwork last year by the name of Sam Rusk, which I will pull up the Instagram for you here. Or if Morgan can get that for me real quick. SAMRUSK.
Sam Rusk.
They go by samurai_Rusk on Instagram. Let me get that link for you there. So basically,
Rusk.
Sam Rusk does D&D inspired tattoo art, but they also do video game art. So
Cool.
I don't know if you guys. I showed you guys last year, I believe. I bought a Zelda inspired like tattoo flash art picture.
Yeah.
That was the one I purchased last year. This year, Pow has invested in the Last of Us version of the artwork. So as you can see, it's very tattoo inspired flash art.
Cool.
You have your clicker, you have your firefly on the stop sign, you have the broken watch, you have the dagger. So amazing artwork. Please go check them out at samurai_Rusk on Instagram. If you are into Dungeons and Dragons and you're into tattoos, they're right up your alley.
This is very interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's fantastic, right? It's very unique.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very unique. And the video game artwork there. Oh, I forgot to mention to you, Zenith. I don't know if it's on the page or not, but they also did Elden Ring inspired. There's an Elden Ring there's an Elden Ring print of the same style artwork with the flash art. That was new, I believe, this year. It's got like
very
searched
inspiring.
Elden Ring. I can't find anything in the store.
You can't find anything?
I'm not on
Let's
the
see.
store now.
Oh, Dill's going straight for the store. That's a good
Found
deal.
the SamuraiRust.com store, so
Okay, cool.
nope,
Let's see.
don't see it. Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see. They also have an Etsy store. Let me see if I can find it real quick here before we move on. Oh, I think this is it. Oh no, that's the Critical Role one.
Okay, I found one Elden Ring item on the Etsy store.
It literally has Melania. Oh, here it is. I found it.
It does, yeah. I found it.
Yeah. It's got Melania on there. If you are into Elden Ring, there's There is the print you should purchase.
Yep. It has Melania, it has Torrent, it has Blide, has I don't know which dragon that is. Blizzard Axe, maybe something like that.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah,
they're really cool.
Yeah, amazing artwork. I might even go commission a tattoo.
Nice,
because that's awesome. I bought stickers for my laptop, all kinds of. I spent money on cheap things like stickers and the stuff like that, knick-knacky stuff.
Yeah.
I got a new laptop from work, so I put a bunch of stickers on it. But I also got to try the Dungeons and Dragons pinball machine that is brand new. This is one of the coolest pinball machines I have seen because if you don't know Dungeons and Dragons, it's a tabletop role-playing game, and it's you create a character. If you've played Baldur's Gate, you've basically played Dungeons and Dragons. You go and you create a character, and then you follow your role-playing prompts. You make decisions. Those decisions have effects, etc. So as you are playing the pinball game, depending on how your pinball run went, it will alter the story being told to you on the pinball machine. Nice. And the voiceovers and stuff that come back to you are different depending on how your run.
That's cool.
Yeah, depending on how your run with the ball was. It's very, very cool. Finally got to check it out and thoroughly enjoyed that one.
Nice.
I also went on the hunt for, and I still cannot get my hands on a copy of Sonic 06. We're trying to do this the right way.
Yeah, saw your picture of disappointment on Instagram.
I went to the Mecca in Los Angeles, known as Game Dude in North Hollywood. This place is massive. I don't think I took Dill yet, but no, this place is massive, right? It's like the size of a fucking not a Walmart per se, but it's like it's a good chunk. It's not a good chunk, or it's a good chunk.
What's kind of hilarious is that physical copies of Sonic 06 is kind of following a similar trend that you're seeing with a lot of movies. Because if you guys didn't know, the Minecraft movie recently came out, and it is pure garbage. It is practically unwatchable.
Wait, you watched it?
Yeah, it's making no, but thankfully I did not. But a lot
this
of
movie's
people,
trash. I didn't watch it.
No, I'm just looking at the reviews. So I'm just saying the general consensus is that this movie is trash, but it's selling well. The reason being is because it feels like there's a lot of movies that will purposely come out knowing that it's going to get trash reviews, because it doesn't matter, it's going to sell.
Yeah, that is true. I already said that this is probably going to be the most successful bad movie of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Because of kids.
Yeah, that's why this is a Five Nights at Freddy's 2 sequel.
Yes.
Okay, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie wasn't terrible. Is it the best scary movie I've seen? No, not by any means. But it was also not. I can't watch this shit, right? Anyway, back will be real quick. So, I watched the Borderlands movie.
Oh yeah,
that is bad. That is bad. That is just a bad movie. Five Nights at Freddy's was okay. I gave Five Nights at Freddy's about a 6. Not the best, not the worst, but it's also, I didn't feel like I completely wasted my time.
Yeah.
Borderlands, I feel like I wasted my time. My 2 hours I will never get back of life. You know what I mean? Borderlands is bad. It's very you can almost tell that the people that made the Borderlands movie had not touched Borderlands. Just based on how the writing was, and it's trying to, and it's it's like they tried to throw all the Borderlands-esque things into this movie, and throw it all in there. Hey, here's your pot of Borderlands, enjoy, right? With no realistic storytelling, no writing, no nothing, right? So Borderlands is not worth your time. Do not watch Borderlands. But Five Nights at Freddy's is not the worst, not the best. I am not sweating it too much.
Fair enough. What have you done to us?
But I also met with a gentleman that owned one of the local game stores here, Game Realms over in Pasadena, California. I'm sorry, not Pasadena, Burbank, California. Game Realms. Met one of the owners there. Very, very nice guy, and we started talking. He told me basically that the Sonic games started to get bought up when Sonic 3 movie took off.
Yeah.
So once the Sonic 3 movie, because I was so confused, I went to so many game places and I'm like, I can't find a fucking copy of this shitty Sonic game. Like, who's buying this? And then,
people.
Yeah, he kindly explained to me. He was like, yeah, like that thing kind of had a run on it when the Sonic 3 movie came out. And he's like, it's not just that game, it's all the Sonic games I had trouble keeping in stock, especially the older used ones. So I guess it makes sense. So we know you know, Morgan, because you made it sound like you played very little Sonic games, but it turns out you played all of them. I think her content was like 16 games. And I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
What is going on here?
Yeah, I'm wondering what you're doing there.
Who, Zenith?
No, because me and Zen keep like flashing in and out on the stream.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm just trying to respond to something.
Oh, I was gonna say flashing. I was like, well, who's flashing?
Yeah. Yes. Also, Erik, I just remembered something I actually did during the last 2 weeks.
What'd you do?
Well, obviously, for those who missed it last time, it was my birthday last podcast. I went to go see my cousin in a big town center, and we went to this club called Number 64, and it is a gaming nightclub.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I put images of one of the pinball machines I played on it as well.
Let me see here. Let's see.
It's an X-Men pinball machine with like full-on animation screen that feels like you're actually playing like an X-Men game.
Yeah, this is how the Dungeons and Dragons one is. I wonder if they're the same company.
Yeah. Might be.
This is really cool.
Yeah, but I would honestly answer you would have loved to play because it had like a bunch of classic games. It had Miss Pac-Man in there. It had like Space Invaders in there, like full on like proper arcade games and stuff. They even had a Game Boy, an original Game Boy in there that was hooked up to this screen where you could play Pokemon Pinball through the Game Boy on the screen.
Was it like in a pinball cabinet?
I'll send another picture of it. I took a picture of it.
Okay, I need to see this.
Yeah, because it's literally like it's full on like attached to the wall and everything like that.
That's rad.
And like that's what it looks like right there in the chat, in the live chat. But like you hold the Game Boy controller as a controller and you control it through there.
Whoa, that is really cool.
Yeah,
it's called the Wall Boy.
Yeah, created by a local developer.
This place is called what again?
Number 64. Like
so
N64.
What's actually kind of cool about that is in Paper Mario, they actually have like a place where it's kind of like a club, and it's called Club 64. So I don't know. I like that.
I found the website actually. Number 64.
I think
also our face cam also keeps them going out for some reason.
Yeah, I'm noticing that too.
Your face cam?
Yeah, on the stream.
Oh, I wonder if it's because of
Found the website.
Okay, I think it's because I have the what's it called? Someone tell me if it happens right here, right now. I'm gonna guess it happened.
I don't see it.
Oh, my apologies. The name of the bar is actually NQ64.
Okay, weird. I thought it was when I was flipping the browser up and down, but like I'm switching windows. But that's weird. Okay, I'll keep an eye on it here. Maybe Discord's being funky.
But this looks cool, Dill.
It so is. The inside of it looks really cool, and there was a freaking pizza place right next to it as well that one went to, which do 16-inch pizzas.
Oh, now it's out.
Okay, I should come back now.
Okay.
I think I know what it is. I think it's a window capture or something for I had 2 Discord windows on one screen. But
okay.
And then it was like going over the window capture, I think.
Right.
Whoa, this is cool.
It really is. It was. Also, Erik, they had Guitar Hero as well.
Yes.
Yo, let's go.
Yeah.
Get drunk and play Guitar Hero. Okay, I'm going to pick a random location here.
The cocktail that I got there as well was called the Aku Aku Fruit Punch.
Ooh.
Which is really nice.
Okay, these guys have the best phrase for a bar I've ever seen. Booze beats button mashing.
Yep.
Oh,
and there's the drinks menu right there that I took a picture of as well.
Peach on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
King Cooler, Mountain Doom.
Mountain Doom, nice. Yeah.
Oh shit, that's pretty good. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so if any of you guys come to around my area, I know where I'm taking you.
Nice. Okay. No Uka non-alcoholic. Okay.
Hits from the Pong? Oh, come on.
That's what you guys will laugh. That's probably what I'd be drinking. Raspberry, guava, kiwi. Okay. Contains CBD.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. All right. There you go. That is NQ64 over in the UK. Check it out.
Yep. Awesome place.
Nice. Hits from the Pong. Good stuff. Good stuff. So yeah, that's basically I bought artwork for the house. Went to WonderCon, tried to find Sonic 06, still a hunt in progress. Played a D&D session last night with our friends. I'm starting to fall in love with this game, guys.
Ooh.
I'm starting to fall in love with this game. My character is a rogue, and a halfling or a half elf rogue, and this half elf rogue may have served a certain kingdom in his past life, and then was exiled from his kingdom.
Skyrim reference.
The Mushroom Kingdom.
The Mushroom Kingdom.
No, you're on the right track.
Yeah, your character was exiled because he's got like major plumber crack.
Yes,
it was offending the locals.
I was offending the locals. I think if I do another campaign, I'm going to find the fantasy version of an IT tech, like an engineer from the land of so and so.
Yeah,
the engineer from the land of Sony.
Have you tried shutting your Steam off and on again?
Yeah, shut your Steam on and off again. Have you turned the valve on and off? Like some kind of random shit like that. Don't hate on the man for being dummy thick. Sounds like Morgan's got a thing for video game characters. Should I be concerned?
That's not surprising. That's not surprising at all.
First it's Shadow, now it's Mario. I'm sure Donkey Kong's in there.
Hedgehog.
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah. No, I can't say.
Oh, you can't.
Not
say.
Yet. Not yet.
Not yet. Oh, okay. I thought it was inappropriate.
In private.
No. It's not. It's just like it's Switch 2 stuff.
What is happening to that Donkey Kong in that emote?
See, I told you. It looks like she's committing an atrocity to a horse.
Morgan, why are you riding that horse?
With someone riding a horse.
Are you sure you're right? Why are you riding that horse, Morgan? What? Did that horse give consent?
She just needed some horse dong in her life.
Jesus.
Bong.
That's not where you go to get glue, Morgan.
She's on a quest to find the lube. To seek the holy lube.
The quest for Hyloob.
I think we found the title, guys, for the podcast.
Oh, yeah. I hurt.
I think that's it, guys. But yeah, like Morgan is. I mean, I could clearly see it's riding a horse, right? But she's doing it with this aggressive face. And then,
surprise you, Morgan.
No, and then there's the other one where Morgan's nodding, and it's an enjoyable nod, if you know what I mean.
Hang on a second.
You can scroll down and see the other emote. It's like the enjoyable nod, if you catch my drift.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Staring at a penis.
Yeah.
Staring's one way to put it.
Yeah, honestly though, like jokes aside, those are great new emotes. I'm actually commissioning the same artist for stuff that I got.
They're very good. I'm not gonna lie, they're very, very good.
So,
but I was like, what is happening to Donkey Kong? But it is a horse.
DK. Donkey
Dong.
Donkey.
Okay, Ninja 61 Drive. That what was Morgan's like original Twitch name? Where she has 61 in there.
Which one?
No, like
more like 69 Drive.
If you go. If you look at Morgan's emotes, like it has like Ninja Jag or Ninjag 61 Drive, but like it was obviously
maybe it's the amount of like storage space she has in her brain. 61
but, like,
gig.
Ninjag 61 Flappy. But if you look at like, remember like back when Twitch gave out the emotes to affiliates or whatever, they like took your username and shortened it.
Yeah, they did.
And then now it's got like her emotes have this weird like name scheme that are tied to her old account.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will never change her like her spotlight page. Despite popular requests.
Never change it. These are actually really, really good. I'm looking at Morgan's emotes now. Those are really good.
Mm-hmm.
Ninjag 74. Just keep doing it until you get 64.
Yes.
And then keep it. Change my spotlight page, you fucking donkey. You know what, Morgan?
No, you're the one fucking the donkey.
I'm gonna say, yeah, but you're fucking donkey.
They're not lying, guys. Like,
yeah.
If I could put this emote up like on the chat on the screen, I would.
Yeah.
But stop updating stuff from your channel. I can't keep up. Is she Demi, are you referring to this channel or Morgan's?
Morgan's. Because every time I go, like, I see Morgan live, I type in her username in my search bar, and it always brings up like one of 3 different previous names. And like,
nice.
Oh, for fuck's sakes,
nice. Fucking, she can't decide who she is. Okay, we got a scared emote. We have what in the fuck is this one? What is Gib? Okay. Evil. Cute. What?
The bongos.
That's not bongos, fam. That looks like a headboard.
It isn't. That looks like a headboard.
Morgan, you need to reevaluate these.
That's the emote when Donkey Kong's on the other side.
Oh, that makes sense now. Now I'm just saying.
No.
So this proof
Erik,
that
you
the
made
more
this so much worse.
Okay, Morgan, you cannot tell Zenith go to hell because I'm the one that pointed this out.
Yes, and then he just jumped on it. Like
hey guys, when Morgan comes back on for whatever episode, we should just make her window cam that fucking headboard emote. The whole episode.
We should.
Oh, she still likes us, but she said you could go to hell, Zenith.
Aww.
No, she's now using my emotes. She's had enough.
She's had enough. Yeah, she's embarrassed. You imagine being the artist for that? Like, I want my emote to be this. And then the artist is like, are you sure?
Are you sure?
Morgan's like, yes.
All right, then. Hey, yo.
I can't stop. I can't unsee it.
The cursed image is now in the brain.
It's bongos, all right.
She's bongoing.
Okay, there we go. All right, video games, people. Video games. That's why we're here.
Back to video games, you say?
Yeah, back to video games. So yeah, pinball machine, awesome. Club 64 over in the UK. Check it out. Where's the doc? I need to get myself together. Unbelievable. All right. Dill has been apparently playing Pokemon all month.
Well, I'm going
Pokemon
to play Pokemon
Ironmon.
all month. Yeah. So I've got a lot planned for May in terms of raising money for St. Jude. So, and I've been doing Kaiser Ironmon for over a year now. And I want to try and see if I can get the challenge completed before the end of the month, because by the time May comes around, I'm going to be doing St. Jude fundraising. Most likely I'm going to be using crowd control again this year, because last year I did it and it was really fun. So I'm just basically just doing the same. Yeah, Kaizo, never-ending Kaizo Ironmon all month, from the start of this month all the way until the end, to see if I can fully complete the challenge once and for all. So
60% of the time, it works every time.
Exactly.
But fundraising attempts, you're only 1,700 attempts, and it's still in its early days.
Well, it's 1697. If you're going to get approximations.
How do you mentally prepare for this?
I wake up, I do a scream, and then I get out of my bed, then I go have a cold shower, and then I come out of the cold shower, and then I go eat myself a nice bowl of glass, just to try and get through, to know what, is more painful than Kaiser Ironmon. Then I psych myself up. I run from from all the way around the world until eventually I get back to my place, and then I start streaming and I play it.
Do you do the influencer like face splash, cold plunge?
Whatever that influencer did, which made me go, what?
Cold plunge with sulfuric acid or something.
Yes.
Yeah, basically, Dill, you need to put like barbecue sauce on your pubes, and then just like put a whole bunch of like rattlesnakes in your pants.
What?
Okay, why barbecue sauce?
I don't know.
Why
put some snake food on there?
Surely, if it's gonna hurt, hot sauce.
Barbecue sauce sounds very specific. Like,
yeah,
just whatever entices the cobras.
Whatever you're into, Zen.
Some of the stupidest shit I Google.
Yeah.
Do snakes like barbecue sauce?
Asking for a friend, not for me.
Can you imagine if the government is still watching us and they're like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
AI.
They're like, we regret having your SIN number.
According to Google AI, no, snakes do not eat or like barbecue sauce, as they are carnivores, and their diet consists of meat, insects, amphibians, eggs, and other
just
reptiles.
hang a whole bunch of mice on your nuts.
What if like the bug's not very tasty? They gotta add a bit of flavor there, It's just the barbecue sauce.
Do snakes like hot sauce?
Good question. Do they like spicy things?
AI overview is not available for this search.
No,
we broke it.
Cut off. Yeah, you cut off. They're like, that's enough alcohol for you.
Broke it. Shit, man.
Yeah, take me back to grandma. Back to bed, granny.
They think I'm, what's it called? They think I'm drunk. Google AI thinks I'm drunk. And it's just like, what the fuck is this guy asking?
Yeah. Oh, Dill, did you see that bunch of people have been playing this, and it's basically Pokemon Emerald, except it's Mario.
Yes,
and it actually looks really cool.
I've watched Alpharad's video, because Alpharad and his team worked on it for 3 years to make that. I literally, did I send you something on that, or did I not?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should play it.
I want to, but Kaiser Ironmon takes over priority right now until I can beat it. So,
but how long is this going to happen? Like, how long is this till this is going to happen?
I don't know.
5,000 attempts.
That happened with shiny hunting, so
Okay, what has anyone done? Has anyone beat this yet? I think we've discussed this, but just to reiterate, someone has done this. How many runs did it take them?
Point Crow took nearly 4,000 attempts.
Okay, everyone, we're going to take bets right now. I'm going to say, let me get my trusty notebook out here. I think it's going to take Dill 5K.
Okay, hang on. Let me write this down.
And how many do you have right now? 1,800 or no, 1,700?
I
right?
am 1697, I believe, on the new attempts.
So he is at 1697 currently. I'm going to say it's going to take 5,000 runs. Zenith, what do you think?
Erik says it's going to take me roughly 5,000 runs.
2069.
Nice. It's going to be Kaizo, Ironmon, bets. Writing that down. So Erik says 5,000. Jamie says 2069 runs. Cool. Trust the old notepad here. Cool. All right. Anyone else?
How many do you think?
Callan's saying below 3,000. Okay. So we'll say below 3,000.
What the fuck, Morgan?
1420. Morgan already lost.
Yeah, you've already lost. I've already gone past that point. 2K? Morgan's saying 2K.
Okay, Morgan's going to say 2K. Okay,
2,
here we go.
4,195.
4,195 is Zenith's guess. That's a very specific number.
And then Zen says...
I'm from the future. That's why I predicted like the mouse things.
What did it say? 4,000?
They call me Nintendo Dostradamus.
Zen, tell me how many runs again?
4,195.
95.
Zenith got the sports almanac from the future. Now he's gonna be.
I'm from the future. That's why I'm getting to horse betting.
He's gonna be.
Anyone else want to place any bets before?
Yeah, I'm breaking all the rules that you're not supposed to do for like race time traveling, which is don't gamble.
Don't step on a butterfly.
And
right, so I got Erik, I got Davies, I got Callum, I got Morgan, I got Zens. In terms of
so
how many?
It's across the broad spectrum here. It looks like Zenith just shy of what I'm guessing.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. And then he will announce it here, and we'll let you all know when he.
I'll find out soon. Don't worry.
I'll find out soon.
I'm also like working on shit in my spare time too. So
he's cheating. You look at this. If you're not watching the stream right now, Dill has clearly got the face of a guy who's cheating.
How am I cheating?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know. You tell me. All I can say, if anyone wants to blame anyone for why I'm doing this challenge runs, blame the guy that's down below us right now.
Oh, nice.
What did he ever do to you?
Yeah, blame Zen's cock.
Blame Zen's. Jesus Christ.
Anyway.
Oh my God. Okay, why did you torture this man, Zenith? Why did you do that?
Because I saw it, I was like, oh wow, it's Pokemon. Oh wow, it's the equivalent of setting your nuts on fire. Hey Dill, do you want to
you want to join in, Dill?
Yeah.
I got a bonfire we can sit at.
Sure. As I punch my own nuts, I will do it.
With the massage gun. Just repeatedly punch yourself in the nuts with the massage gun.
But it's a massage gun with a machete, then yes.
If you really want to up your game, you can get the massage gun that has the hot and cold setting. Just turn the heat up on that thing and punch yourself in the nuts repeatedly.
There's a massage gun with a hot and cold setting?
Yeah, no, you just wrap your wiener in like a heated blanket and then you apply this massage gun.
Oh my God, no. No, there is there is a heated one. You know which one? You know the ones I'm talking about now, the handheld ones that everyone has, and it like pulsates on your neck. Because Zenith showed one on stream, but we bought my mom one for Christmas because she has a bad back.
You bought your mom a vibrator?
No, Zenith.
Sorry, someone would have mentioned it. I had to be the first.
I mean, it could be worse. You know, my dad could have gifted me one like yours did.
Oh yeah, that's true. Passed down from generation to generation of Zens.
Yeah. We don't pass toys in my family. Apparently yours does. So there you go.
What if my dad gave me his wood massager, okay? Shut up. It's got balls, I know, but
anyway, no, my mom's got a bad back, so we were like looking for something for Christmas, and yeah, they have ones like it'll heat up the massage ball on the gun, and then it's supposed to, like ease, tension and muscle and all that kind of stuff. It not bad. Not bad. I'm glad I was able to swing right back at Zenith. See, don't take shit from anybody, people. Look at him. Now he's awfully quiet because he knows he's caught in a corner.
Yeah, and that's chat. It's how you shut Zen up.
That's how you shut him up. You just be like,
I can take it. No, that's a good. That's a good comeback.
He sat there and he thought about it. He's like, you know what? My dad did give me wood. And then
what else am I going to say?
Yeah, what else did I say? It's not the lie. I didn't lie. It's the truth.
Zen's dad in the forest got wood.
Got wood. It's just for massaging, guys. That is Pokemon Ironmon. Go check out Dill during St. Jude month. You can find him at Big Dill Gamer on twitch.tv.
That's been planned.
All right. Zenith has got Kingdom Come Deliverance II.
So, Zen, how has it come?
Well, there's actually none of that.
Was it Deliverance?
So... Did it deliver?
Did it deliver?
Fuck's sake, Scott.
He's getting wrecked today.
Come on. So it has actually been. So I knew very little about this game, and I was watching my friend Jody Street playing, and Everest is also playing it. So it's basically, it's a game where it's open world, and it has multiple different choices where you have and your choices like affect it. It's kind of first person, kind of like Skyrim, except it's realistic, where it's more actually based off of like historical fact. Combat is really, really hard, even in just a one-on-one. Your chances of dying is pretty good, especially if you're not very good at battles. And I've died plenty of times.
Okay.
It's a struggle to survive. There's a point in the game where you're basically just butt naked and you have absolutely nothing to your name, not even clothes. And trying to stay out of trouble is very hard. I had guards chasing after me, all because I accidentally walked in someone's house, and because I thought it was a shop. It was very not a shop, and then everyone started chasing me down. I'm like, what the fuck? I was just I'm not trying to loiter. I'm trying to figure out where the fucking store is.
So what kind of game is this? Let's see here.
So if it's like a first person, like think Skyrim.
Okay.
You go around, you have like a whole bunch of different people you can talk to with quest lines, and the story evolves based off of your choices.
Interesting.
So,
okay.
So you get to either fight your way through everything, which is incredibly difficult, by the way. You can try and have like a silver tongue and use charisma or lies to get your way, which is also very interesting because if you have max speech, you could perform the most heinous crimes. I watched Jody stream. He puts someone in a chokehold, strangles him, makes him fall asleep, and then he steals the guy's clothes. The guards walk in, see what's going on, and they all question him, and he lies his way. So, I was just practicing my my wrestling moves, and I'm just like, what the fuck? How did that work?
Charisma.
Actually, this is
yes, instead of charisma, it's charisma.
Charisma. This is a beautiful looking game.
Yeah, it is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it's lack of a better word, it takes place 15th century medieval Europe, so it's definitely fantasy based.
It's actually not even fantasy based.
Okay, it looks fantasy based.
There's no dragons, there's no goblins, there's nothing. The people you fight are either wolves, and trust me, don't fuck around with wolves.
Okay,
or other people that are that just all of a sudden want to fight you, and basically 2 hits you're dead.
Jesus.
Yeah, there's no healing potions either.
There's no healing potions at all in this.
Yeah, so the only way to heal yourself is obviously like bandage up your wounds, and then maybe eat some food to try and recover just a slight sliver of health, and then just go to bed.
Okay.
And I guess in resources are probably pretty scarce in like Fallout.
Yes,
like Fallout,
I'm
basically,
starving.
Yeah.
It's like I have like I have like hardly any food on me. And also I don't have any weapons really, like, except for like a hunting sword.
I think I do own this game.
Are there
the first one?
This looks brand new. Yeah, this came out February 4th of this year. Does it have like? Do they have like blacksmiths and stuff that can make you weapons, armor, things like that?
Yes, you can actually become a blacksmith. You could actually become an alchemist. I'm just starting to tinker now with alchemy to try and come up with like potions and salves to try and make things a little like easier. Like you can do stuff to try and like help yourself be able to like heal faster when you go to sleep, so that you don't have to sleep for like 12 hours. And then there's like different other things that have like various uses. Like as a matter of fact, you are not allowed to just randomly save the game. So if you go into if you have like a very important crucial decision, if you were like, all right, so I want to do just something incredibly evil, but I'm gonna save here, and then I'm gonna get myself into trouble on purpose, and then see if it's funny, and then just reload my save. No. You actually have to create what's called like a salvation, or you have to create some kind of like potion in order to do a manual save. So you actually have to hunt for certain ingredients out in the wild in order to create this, and I have not found the ingredients, so I am struggling.
Okay.
Interesting. Your decision making and stuff, all those factors, do they grow? Is it like Baldur's Gate levels of variance, like into what can happen, or is it just mild? Okay, cool.
Yes, like the quests like change so much based off of like how you interact with some people. Like, as a matter of fact, if you show up, so like if you get into battle, like you will actually get blood all over your clothes. And if you're walking around with blood all over your clothes, the guards will stop you. And if you don't like wash yourself at like trough every once in a while, people don't want to talk to you because you smell.
What the fuck?
Yep.
That's wild. So okay.
So it's hyper realistic, and I'm having a blast with it.
Nice. Okay, cool. That is Kingdom Come Deliverance II. That is $59.99 on Steam. I guess you're doing this. I'm guessing you're doing this on the PlayStation. Yeah.
Yeah, PS5.
PS5. Okay, cool. So
yeah, I used up the rest of my PlayStation 7 pre-order to get Kingdom Come 2 Deliverance for only $2.23.
Hey,
nice.
Hey, are you enjoying that PS5? Is it nice to be like part of the modern age now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Now you can join us for all kinds of fun, Zenith. Yep, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, $59.99 on Steam. I'm gonna guess it's $69.99 on your PlayStation Store or any of those factors. I'm gonna guess this is on Xbox as well.
I think it's on all platforms, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
That is
apart from the Switch. Oh no, it's on the Switch too. Oh no, the first one's on the Switch.
The first one's on the Switch. Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Kingdom Come
Maybe
Deliverance
it'll be
2.
on the Switch too.
All right. So you guys are going to be just embarrassed by me, but I am on the same bullshit. We are almost done with Final Fantasy IV. I am like on the last shred of finishing this thing. I have never finished this one, and I've played it so many times, but I've never finished it. I don't know why now. I think it's because it was the Pixel remasters that I had purchased. I'm like, I'm going to go through it. I'm going to finish one of these, right? And I started going through it, and it's such a good game. It's really, really well done. And sometimes I think you forget too. You forget like how much they were able to do back then with minimal graphical, fidelity, like in terms of storytelling and all that kind of stuff. It's all pixels. So like the storytelling they were able to accomplish in that area really does say something about, back then it was Squaresoft. Now it's Square Enix. But it really does say something about what they were able to accomplish with the technology they had in the time. So hopefully you'll have a finished report by the time we get back. But yeah, Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster. It was just on sale for the Steam sale. Unfortunately, I don't think it is anymore. So that one's sitting pretty expensive. But, wait for the next sale and you can gather that. You can get it on all the platforms too, by the way. It's on the Switch. It's on the Steam. It's on I take that back. It might not be on Xbox, but it's definitely on PlayStation. So yeah, go check out the Pixel remasters. I also got to try the Half-Life 2 RTX demo a little bit. So Valve has put out a demo for Half-Life 2 using the RTX features of your, what was the cutoff at the point? For your 2000 series and up graphics cards. So if you're sitting on a 2000, 3000, or up into the 5s, you have RTX available to you. When it first launched, it had some problems. It's a 2-level demo. When it first launched, it had some performance problems. There was people having issues with it on, brand new 4000 and 5000 series cards. They seem to have released a driver for it. And at least in my experience, I'm on a 3080 Ti. I'm on a regular 3080. I'm on a regular 3080 and I was, getting a solid 70, 80 frames a second with RTX on. It looks great. It looks great to me. The demo levels are very gloomy and dark and kind of spooky in a way, which is very fitting for the original Half-Life. If you have not gone and played Half-Life or Half-Life 2, I highly recommend you do so. They're always on sale for like $2 to $3 a piece or something like that, like dirt cheap. I recommend you go play those because Half-Life is literally one of the best video games ever made.
I have Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 Deathmatch, and Half-Life 2 Deathmatch Source.
But you don't have Half-Life 2? Or you do?
No, I do.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, like, usually you have all three if you buy, like, the orange box or whatever. But,
I think they actually also recently enabled mods, like Steam mods on Half-Life 2, didn't they?
Yeah, that was a thing. So, definitely go check that out. That's the Half-Life 2 RTX demo. I believe it's currently free. 2 levels, an easy 20 minutes of gameplay, 30 minutes. Give that a run.
One day.
All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're about an hour in. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take a quick break. And then we're going to come back for the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct Talk. So this is Good Friends, Good Games. And we'll be back shortly. All right. Good Friends, Good Games is back. Okay. We are going to do our best to tread lightly around the politics aspect of this subject, but it is a major factor in the subject, so we are going to, obviously have to bring it up. So
do
fair
you want
warning.
to get into the fun stuff first?
Oh no, we're gonna do the fun stuff first. Don't worry, we're gonna do the fun stuff first. But yeah, just a fair warning out there. There's probably gonna be minor politic discussion in here regarding this, but just in a specific matter. All right. Nintendo Switch 2 was announced. It is announcement week. There's a lot to digest here. So let's get into some of the fun stuff first. Nintendo did a direct back on Tuesday. Was it last Tuesday?
Yep, April 2nd.
Tuesday, April 2nd.
Sorry,
All
Wednesday.
Right.
Wednesday. No. They did 2 directs, and back to back.
They did. Okay, April 2nd. Yes, Tuesday, April 2nd, 2025. That was the announcement of the Nintendo Switch 2. Let's go ahead and let's go over some of the stuff here. So, they open up with the announcement of Mario Kart World. This is the new Mario Kart that is going to launch with the Nintendo Switch 2 on launch day. It is basically your open world traveling like racer. It is like,
it looks fun. Because think about this. Like, honestly, I've had, like, you guys have, you've all played Mario Kart at some point, right?
I think we've all touched some Mario Kart in some way, shape, or form.
Dabbled.
Yeah. So, like, you've done your, like, races with people, but, like, the only thing is, like, there's, like, after you're done your race, you gotta prepare for the next one and whatever course it might be. But being able to drive to the next course and also being able to have like a free roam where it's like, hey guys, I don't really feel like racing, but why don't we just drive around the entire world, just hang out and just go places, do shit, drive under bridges, just get up to whatever mayhem. We don't, with no specific goal in mind, is awesome.
Yeah, it's that was the appealing part of it to me, because honestly, I'll be straight honest with you, I looked at, we look at Mario Kart 8 and it's like, what can we do with Mario Kart like past this, which is kind of interesting, because we missed the glaring obviousness is the open world aspect of it, where you can just take your cart and drive around to the different, I'm assuming it's the different regions of the Mushroom Kingdom, etc. And it's free. Free open rain.
They did a treehouse showcase the day after, in which they showed gameplay of the actual game itself. I watched it. From the looks of it, once you complete a race, you have the option to. Once you complete the full race course and everything like that, you have the option to explore the open world of Mario Kart World, where you can just travel wherever you want to go and everything like that and stuff. It also looks like that you can get certain like items as well, collectibles in different maps in the actual like world itself. So there are collectibles you can also collect in the game, and those collectibles look like skins for your character, for each character, basically, like different outfits that they can wear.
Okay,
which is cool. Yeah.
So it gives the incentive, and then like considering it is online and open, they're going to be able to do online packages, drop skins or cart skins or whatever, upgraded cart parts. That's the other cool. Like, there's tons of things they can do within an open world where they can drop cart parts, they can drop skins for your characters, unlock characters, and then you have to go find the characters. There's tons of different things they can do with that thing.
Yeah.
It is a really cool concept.
Yeah, like my mother, she plays lots of Mario Kart. As a matter of fact, my mother is, and my dad are actually so good at Mario Kart. The last time I played them, they absolutely smoked me. I couldn't. I couldn't. No, that's how good they are. But what my mother likes doing is she said, "Oh man, I just wish that you were able to." You're able to just drive anywhere and check out like all the shortcuts. Now she could do that, and I've never seen her so excited for a video game in like years. She's so hyped about it. And with the combination of being able to have like actual group chats on the Switch. So if you're someone that doesn't use Discord, this is actually cool for you. So like my brother and we were saying, hey, being able to be able to play Mario Kart and go explore with our own mother is so fascinating to us, and we're very excited to do it.
Yeah. We'll get into the group chat thing in a minute here. Let's go ahead and let's kind of break this down here. Our source of information here is IGN. We're just looking at a recap here. We also all did watch it. So there's 2 new game modes. There is the Knockout Tour and the Free Roam. Knockout Tour is an elimination battle royale style where you have to be the last driver racing as you travel across the world.
Yeah, and it's a constant race.
Yeah.
Like there's no stopping. Racing. You just have to keep going.
Free roam allows players to explore the levels of Mario Kart World at their own pace. They can go off track, learn routes, or just take a casual drive through the countryside. Oh, and you can bring friends along with you. It's someone I think in the chat here said it earlier, it's very Gran Turismo in a way. There's elements of Gran Turismo, like, because Gran Turismo does this now where you can go to different regions on the map. It's all free roam. You can do different races in different areas. You can go buy car parts and all this kind of stuff. And it's like in a map world. I'm maybe not quite the level of the free roam where you're driving to that location. Forza Horizon does that a lot, where you can drive to the different locations and explore the map. But yeah, Mario Kart is adopting this, and that, to me, this is impressive. This looks great. We'll talk about pricing later, but just the game itself looks great. It looks gorgeous. The one thing I am excited about, this is part of the Switch 2 reveal. We'll talk about hardware fully in a second, but the Switch is going to utilize HDR. HDR is designed for Mario was designed for HDR. Like the colors and the contrast you're going to get in places like, Mushroom Kingdom or Rainbow Road and stuff, like those maps are going to look stunning if you've got the TV to match. Very bright colors. I got excited for the Moo Moo Meadows cow. I got excited for the
I'm going to be a cow main.
Yeah, be a cow main.
The showcase that I watched, the Treehouse one, also showed there are other characters you can play as well. There are others.
I don't care about that. I'm a cow.
There's a dry fish you can play. You can go as. There's like different various characters and different like Mario worlds in there and everything like that, like enemies and stuff like that. They're throwing in quite a lot. And each of the pages they showed of the character list had a roughly about like, I think it was something like 16 players on each page, and there were about 5 to 6 pages at least. So that means it could possibly be like about over 80 characters in this game that you can play as.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
That's crazy. They could also possibly do different variations of the characters and have them fill the slots in the thing.
Gold Mario or I actually thought that maybe they might do like Shadow Mario from Sunshine.
Yeah, or you do like Wind Waker Link or something like that, Kid Link.
Oh yeah, all that. Yeah.
Very, very cool. Mario Kart World is coming out launch day with the Nintendo Switch 2. That is the premier launch title for the game. Let's see what else we got here. I'm trying to kind of lay this out here as they did. Okay. We have the Nintendo Switch 2 versions of games that were on the Nintendo Switch. So we have Breath of the Wild. Yeah, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are getting Nintendo Switch 2 versions of the game. These will be released physically. That can be purchased separately physically, or if you already own the first game or the first version of the game on Nintendo Switch, you're able to purchase an update download, kind of like similar to what PlayStation did.
Or, from what I've been told and from what I've seen, if you have if you have a Nintendo Online Plus, the expansion pack, I think it's a free update for you. It's a free upgrade for you. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I missed that part.
So I've seen that.
So basically,
from a few reports.
If you have that, if you're playing to the Nintendo Switch Online expansion stuff, including GameCube games, which we will get to. You basically get to play Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom at like full frames per second without any slowdown whatsoever.
Yeah. Damien also says that apparently that so far they've only said it's for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom at the moment.
And apparently if you buy the Switch 2 versions, it actually gives you the Nintendo Switch version of the game. So meaning if you get it comes with the upgrade code that you get to use, because you paid for it. But also, if you have someone that has a Nintendo Switch 1, you can give them the Switch game card that came with the Switch 2 version of it, and so that they can play it.
Cool.
So interesting.
I don't remember seeing it or not. They did not discuss the pricing for the upgrades, right? They just said it'll have an upgrade.
I saw that a Japanese store said it was about somewhere between 1,000 to 2,000 yen, which is somewhere between like $10 to $15.
Okay, so they're
basically
not too, if this is assuming that info is correct, they're not too far off from what Sony was charging for the upgrades. I think Sony was doing
basically,
$10.
Yeah.
So their upgrades. Yes. Okay, so that is not unreasonable. You can buy these cartridges separate, obviously. You can buy them individually, and I think they only ran through a couple games here, but they have Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are getting Switch 2 editions that are upgrades. The Mario Party Jamboree is getting a Switch 2 upgrade.
Yeah.
And then there will be Switch 2 upgrades for the new Pokemon ZNA.
Yes. And also there'll be free updates for certain games as well that will improve performances. Among which I think like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are getting like that upgrade basically as well for free for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah. basically anyone that saw like the Pokemon Legends ZA, they're like, oh my gosh, a Pokemon game in 60 FPS. In what world do we live in?
Yeah.
So it'll run at 30.
Probably.
At the track record, it'll run at 30. Okay.
I know that when ZA comes out, I'm going to psychoanalyze the entire fucking game after Scarlet and Violet. I've already got that idea in my brain. Yeah.
They announced some new hardware here. The obvious one is the Nintendo Switch camera. I'm going to be straight up honest with you guys. This Nintendo Switch camera looks like junk.
It does.
It's not for me.
The image quality looks like those round early Logitech cameras that sat on top of your fucking CRT monitor back in 2001.
Get that for maybe your boomer parents that don't know what Twitch is.
Oh God. I did hear a rumor though that apparently that like webcam feature can work with any webcam.
That's what I wanted to figure out here because, does it have a price here?
Something like $50.
Yeah, $50 for the camera.
$50 for this camera. Okay.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, no thanks. Okay, so I did note, obviously the camera is just a USB-C, so who's to say you can't plug in your Logitech 920 or, your Brio or whatever into this thing. Yeah. Now, whether or not the Switch will be able to utilize the full capabilities of your 920 or your Brio, that's completely up in the air. But for what they're charging here, that is
a lot.
The quality of the image is not there. Now, I will say, alongside this, they announced, as we talked about a minute ago, they announced the whole chat feature, the Discord-esque party feature for chat and stuff.
Chat.
But let's be real, people. That is nothing brand new. That is nothing fresh. Sony's been doing that for years. Xbox is doing that for years. Nintendo just finally caught up. But
PC's been doing it since like the Stone Ages.
Right. Yeah, like for me, I will not be using it unless if the only way I will be using it is like if I'm playing with my mother, because she probably does not know. Actually, she does have Discord, but she doesn't know how to work it.
Right.
So it's just better to use just the in-game chat.
I will say the features that they're using, and I'm completely ignorant to the Sony features because I don't use it. I'm in Discord when I'm doing, party chat or whatever. But the idea that you can have the camera up in the Nintendo chat while you're playing is a cool feature. It's Discord-esque, obviously. Like you can have the webcam up, but I think the really, really cool feature was that it will actually import your image that's on the webcam into the game itself. So, for example, instead of like Mario Kart 8, where it was your Mii character, now you have, your actual face there, which is a
basically
cool
slap your face on it and just like it. Then you just pretend you're Jacksepticeye.
Yeah.
But the other thing that might be cool. I don't know if any of you guys have played it or the chat here, but you go to like a Dave and Buster's or like a Family Arcade type of place, and they have those Mario Kart racing cabinets. And then before the race starts, you sit there and it'll take a picture of your face, and you'll have like a Mario hat on and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I wonder if those are features that they can use.
Yeah, I wonder because last time I did that, I made sure the camera took a picture of my butt, so I just had like a Mario mustache on my ass.
Why am I not fucking surprised?
In a public space as well.
These little kids are just there trying to have a birthday party or whatever. Mother spent a lot of money, and then there's you sticking your ass in the Mario Kart camera.
I was wearing pants, mind you. It's just my butt had a Mario mustache on it. Sorry, Shauna.
But oh god. But yeah, like what the fuck, dude? Like Zenith's ass is all up in the Mario Kart camera on the arcade. They're looking at him like this fucking guy. But yeah, I wonder if those are features that they can add later to the game chat stuff. But yeah, realistically, the game chat thing is nothing new. It's been, Sony and Xbox have been doing it forever. We have, we have Discord. We had Skype back in the day. We have Zoom. That's nothing new. But I mean,
AOL Messenger, whatever.
AOL, AOL Messenger, fucking IRQ. So I mean, congrats Nintendo for catching up on that.
Yay.
This is where I start getting a little annoyed and a little angry. Okay, the Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. They are charging $50 for this turd.
Are you sure?
That it said it was a okay, I might be wrong on the $50 bucks, but it said they will purchasable.
I was told it was $5.
Who in their right mind will buy this?
How much did you say it was, Bill? I'm sorry.
$5.
Oh,
I was told.
Maybe I thought I heard $50
$5.
then. Maybe.
No, I was told by a few sources it's not $50. It was $5 for it.
Okay, $5.
But still,
that's $5
too $5 more than I would pay for it.
$5 too many.
The fact is, I can't believe I'm saying giving credit to Sony here, but Sony had Astro's Playroom on both the PS4 and PS5 built in for free to show off features in the consoles. So like,
I am doing
no excuses.
Yeah. They lost the plot with that one because I thought it's like, oh, that's a kind of like a neat little demo thing. Cool. Thank you for not expanding on that because I didn't want to sit through the whole thing. And then all of a sudden it's like, what the fuck do you mean that's a fucking paid game? No,
as soon as we saw that paid out, my reaction was, what?
I'm doing a quick search here because let me see.
Yeah. I thought it funny as well how like Nintendo didn't show any pricing throughout the entire showcase.
Okay, here we
I
go.
Know why. We're gonna talk about that.
We're talking about that. Yeah, Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour price in Japan is confirmed to be 990 yen, which is about $10. That's $10 too many. I'm sorry. Not when not when Sony's giving me Astro's Playroom, which is a phenomenal game.
Yeah,
for $10 or no, for free with the system. System. This is where my beef with this whole direct starts.
Yeah.
You guys might think I'm all happy-go-lucky about everything, da-da-da-da-da. No, I have some beef with it, and it starts right there. That is $10 too many. No one should pay for that. No.
I understand the developers probably worked hard on this thing, but the fact is that they've already been paid for their job, for their time and their job. So, like, this thing should just be a built-in package with the Switch 2.
Exactly.
Period.
With what we're being charged for this equipment, again, we're going to get there. This shit should be free.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm nothing against the developers. Like Dill said, they probably worked very hard on it, but this is something Nintendo should have looked at and been like, yeah, no, we are not going to charge for this. Okay.
No.
We're bouncing around a little bit here. Okay, this is where we get to the hardware part of it. Here's where things get up in the air. Let's see here. Where is the hardware section of this article? Don't tell me they didn't give me a hardware section.
Ooh. Did you see the part with regards to where the Joy-Con is can become a mouse?
Yeah, we're gonna get right there. I was finding the hardware section. Okay. They also, along with the camera, they're releasing a new version of the Switch 2 Pro controller. Nothing special there aside it's getting 2 more buttons, and then it has the C button for the chat system. We forgot to mention that as well. There's a new button on the Joy-Con and on the Pro controller for the C button, which is for your chat system. That is going to be on the new controllers and the new Joy-Cons. Here we are in the hardware section. Okay. It is now coming with a 7.9 inch screen that is like an inch and a half up from the Nintendo Switches. Bigger screen. Yep. The new dock will be able to output 4K and play up to 120 frames per second. Now,
I actually did not think they would be 4K, so that was actually a very nice surprise.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's be clear here. This is not native 4K. This thing's not packing a 5090 in it or anything about that. I mean, it is an upscale 4K. It's using they're using NVIDIA, right? It's using a Tegra chip or something like that, right? It's NVIDIA. So it's using DLSS.
Yes.
I think it's a NVIDIA chip. So it's using DLSS to upscale your image to 4K when it's plugged into the dock. The 4K up to 125 frames per second, you are not going to get 4K at 120. It's when you bump it down to 1080, I think, is when you're getting 120 frames per second.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So what's interesting is in Metroid Prime 4, and I think like other games, they will have what's called quality mode and performance mode. And performance is where they downscale it. Well, they bring it down to 1080p and a solid 120 frames per second, where it's just smooth frame rate. Whereas quality is it's locked at 60 FPS, which is still a lot higher than the first Switch's performance.
Right.
But that's still in like stunning 4K.
Yeah, 4K HDR. It's gonna be a beautiful image. But yeah, let's make it clear. Now, this is nothing new either. This is the exact same thing Sony's doing. You are getting a what do they call it? It's definitely, there's a performance mode. I forget what they call the other one, but it's like fidelity
Balance
mode.
mode.
Yeah, like they have a 4K mode, 4K, that is 4K 60 and it's 60 frames a second. But then if you go to performance mode, like if the game offers a performance mode, then you're hitting that 90 frames per second or 120 frames per second. I'm sorry. So Nintendo's doing the same thing here. The dock has a fan built into it. And motherfuckers finally put a LAN port in the damn dock.
Yep.
Let's be real. The LAN port should have been in the original Switch dock. I don't know why they didn't do it. It should have been there, but now there's a LAN port in the dock.
Got enough complaints.
There are 2 USB-Cs on it, one at the top, one at the bottom, both charge, which is
Both
nice.
do charge, yes. Yep.
Both do power delivery and charge, which is nice. And let's see here. New Joy-Con connects to the Switch 2 with the magnetic snap locks, similar to the original monitors, but offers the mouse control. Zenith called it. Yep. Zenith was completely correct in that there is a mouse control
Nintendo
capability.
Nostradamus strikes again.
Yep.
You fucking had the golden almanac again, the sports almanac.
It's not the first time I've been right about like predicting like future Nintendo hardware. It's fucking crazy. It's like, come on, I'm just like fucking just throwing it out there.
Yeah, so it's cool. It's really cool. They showed it for Mario Party Jamboree when you're like cutting the steak or whatever with the saw. That was really cool.
Yeah, what's also really cool about it is actually I saw this during the demo for Metro Prime 4. So if you are using the right Joy-Con for aiming your for aiming in Metroid, if you immediately put it down in mouse position, it seamlessly just immediately changes to mouse mode. And then when you're done using mouse mode, if you hold it back up, it just swaps back to the previous version, and it's actually really freaking cool.
It's really, really nice. I'm not gonna lie, that is very impressive. When we get to more of the games in a second here, I can see why this thing's going to be a big deal. But the mouse thing is really, really impressive. I'm not gonna lie. They put it down.
That's a game changer for FPS games. I'll tell you that.
Totally. Did they have price? Okay, new Pro controller is going to be $80.
Yep, which is $20 more than the normal Pro controller.
Yeah, there's a non-Pro controller.
The Switch one.
Oh, the Switch one. Okay. The Switch. Oh, there it is. $50 for the Switch 2 camera. The Joy-Cons, people, are $90.
$10 more than the Pro controller.
$10 more than the Pro controller. Now this is where again my anger started getting a little up there. $89.99 for the Joy-Con 2. The charging grip, $35 for the charging grip.
Yep.
And fucking hell, guys, $13 for the strap. The Joy-Con 2 strap is $13. Eat my ass.
Doesn't come with the Switch.
Those things are going to be on Temu in like 3 weeks.
Yeah. I guarantee you D-Brand will make their own versions by the time it comes out. Or they've
the wheel is $20 for 2. Those are going to be like $10 at every Ross and fucking TJ Maxx in existence. And like,
just wait for Mad Cat's controllers to come out. They'll come out with their own. That's way cheaper.
We all remember the Wii era when it comes to like shovelware stuff. Yeah,
I will fucking 3D print one. Eat my ass, Nintendo.
You could do.
I'll 3D print one. Let's see here. Nintendo 2 Switch dock set. What's the dock set?
I think that's the dock itself. As in,
You're
like,
kidding me.
The dock itself or the actual Switch 2.
So like basically, if anything happens to your dock, or if you purchase like a version where it's like like you know how like this, you have the Switch Lite.
Yeah.
So I feel that they might have just revealed where you could just get the handheld and just not have the dock, where it might be cheaper. But if you decide to change your mind, or if anything happens to your dock, then you can buy a separate one. So that's probably why it's expensive.
Yeah.
Is there any confirmation anywhere that the Switch 1 will work in the Switch 2 dock?
I didn't see anything about that.
Yeah, I probably will not try it. This probably what they the connector that they have at the bottom is probably entirely different to make sure that someone isn't like, hey, it's a Switch 1, and then
it's a USB-C. It has two USB-Cs, so one's on the bottom and then one's on the top.
I will wait for a YouTuber to test it before I do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't test it.
In theory, it should work, but this is okay. So this is upsetting. If I'm being charged $109 for the dock, and I'm a family with one Nintendo Switch 2, but I have two kids with Switch 1s, I should be able to plug the Switch 1s into the same dock. I don't want 3 docks sitting up on my TV stand. You know what I mean? Or are you missing?
I don't know why you would want like a Switch 2 dock for a Switch 1.
Well, let's look at it this way. Let's say I'm a dad with 2 kids, right? I buy one Nintendo Switch 2 for myself, and I put the dock in the living room. I don't want to have two docks in the family living room hooked up to the TV.
Well, you might need that because it's kind of like if you have the PlayStation 5 for yourself, but if you lend PlayStation 4 for your kids, you're gonna want to have both of them. And I will tell you, this was a Switch 2 and a Switch 1 dock takes up way less space than having PS5 and a PS4 on your system.
Right. I'm looking at it from a family practicality standpoint, where it's like, why would I have 2 different docks in the family living room, right? And if you look at it from a general, this is where we ran into the Wii U and the Wii problem. It's like, well, it's a Wii, it should work. You see what I'm getting at? It's a Switch dock. Why wouldn't my kid's Switch plug into there, right? And then it's also that thing. It's like, okay, we're paying $100 for this thing. Let's say I have a family room and a living room. You know what I mean? Or like I have it in the bedroom. Like you could argue it with me. It's arguable, but I would think like I only want to have one Switch dock in our main entertainment cabinet, and like, but my kids each have a Switch and I have a Switch.
Okay. So if you have, sorry, Adil, I'll let you go first.
In this scenario, do your kids have a Switch Lite then, or a normal Switch?
Like a normal Switch. Let's say I bought a Switch 2.
Then you already have 2 docks.
Okay. Right, but I don't necessarily want to take up 2 HDMI ports for just Switch on my TV.
Yeah, but I know you, Eric. All you do is you just buy an adapter or something.
We're not talking about me, people. We're talking about the theoretical, like, RPG version of me.
To be entirely honest, like, if anyone, like, it takes their Switch 1 and tries to, like, plug, like, Switch 2 or PlayStation hardware into it, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Be told off.
Okay, I'm looking at the chat here. Kaylin says it may be backwards compatible, but not forward. Yeah, I'm not expecting forwards compatibility, but I am expecting some backwards compatibility for it.
Yeah, because like if you try and plug your Switch 2, take your Switch 2 and put it in like a Switch 1 dock, that thing will overheat and fry in like 5 seconds if it allowed it.
How? It's got a fan.
Or it just won't work. There'll probably be something.
Yeah,
guys, these things are controlled by software, because how do you think it knows to upscale to 420 or not 420?
First of all, the Switch dock, the fan is nowhere near as powerful and does not have like the power and the juice in it to try and power and upscale a Switch 2 into 4K. You will melt the fucking thing. Please do not do that.
I don't think the OG Switch dock has a fan. at all.
No, not at all. But that's what I'm saying, though.
No.
The plugging a switch. Okay, we're getting a little long in the tooth with this discussion here, but theoretically, it's just what's it called? It's just a software thing. Like it plugs in, it goes, oh, this is a Switch 1. No upscaling, just straight, 1080 image.
Yeah, like I could see if you're plugging like a Switch 1 into your Switch 2, like it should be fine. But if you're trying to do it the reverse way, the Switch 2 has a fan in the back.
Oh, no. I'm not going to plug a Switch 2 into a Switch 1 dock.
Okay.
No,
okay.
I'm talking about plugging my kid's Switch 1 that I gave to him because I bought a Switch 2, and him taking that Switch and plugging it into my Switch 2 dock on the TV.
Yeah, like honestly, I think that would be cool and fine. But like if you're thinking about like have like a second dock for yourself, at that point I'd be like, hey, you play on the big TV, I'm gonna play my Switch 2 via handheld, no problem.
Right.
And then when the kid's gone to bed, plug your Switch 2 in there and play on 4K.
So like, full disclosure here, in my house, we literally have a Steam Deck dock in each room.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have one in the living room and we have one in the bedroom. So like if I'm playing in the living room, Pal can go to the living or the bedroom, lie down, and she has a Switch dock there. Not Switch dock, I'm sorry, a Steam Deck dock. I do not actually I have a second Switch dock back here for when I play here. So like there is reasons for people to have multiple docks. But I would only want one in, the TV cabinet for each room, if that makes sense. So in theory, you should be able to, and like I said, it's arguable, but you should be able to take a Switch 1 and plug it into the 2 dock and at least have it work.
Maybe it will just charge. That's it.
Possibly.
It won't work to it, but it might just be charge it up.
That probably is all it would do, because it'd be like, hey, have your Switch 1 plugged in to a USB slot, and that's probably what it'll do. I don't think it would actually bounce it to the TV.
Okay, we'll find out. Like time will tell.
Or something like that.
Yeah, time will tell. But I think that is just a simple firmware thing that you're plugging it in. And it goes, oh, this is a Switch 1, and then boom, does what it needs to do. It'll just treat it like a dock.
Yeah. But yeah, I would only get yourself a separate dock if you something like you have like a child that absolutely destroys your dock for whatever reason, or B, if you have plenty of money, it's like, hey, instead of taking my dock and put it in one room then I have like 2 separate docks in like 2 different rooms, and hey, I have plenty of money, may as well do something rich, and I eat caviar for lunch.
Okay.
So
yeah, I mean, it sucks if you have to buy I don't know. We'll go ahead and move forward for this thing here, but $109 for the Switch 2 dock, which I don't remember the price of the Switch 1 dock for a second one. I do not remember. But
I don't even know if you could purchase a separate dock.
They had a short window where you could do it. You could purchase one for a short time. I think, don't quote me, but I believe they were $80.
Okay.
I believe.
Which actually makes sense, because the Switch dock, it didn't really do a whole lot in the first.
It was grossly overpriced.
Upgrades.
It was grossly overpriced.
The Switch 1 was greatly overpriced. The Switch 2 dock is probably a bit more sensible. It's still expensive, yes, but it offers a lot more in terms of upgrades and the fact that it actually has a fan and won't melt as easily as like maybe the first one would.
Okay, let's go ahead and continue here with that. They announced more game stuff. Let's we talked about the mouse thing. What do you guys think of the magnet system? Is the magnet system gonna hold up?
I feel like the thing that's going to break the most, if it is going to break, is the little plug-in right in the middle. Because I feel like, depending on how the magnets are positioned, if they're lined up properly, it should just click in fine. But then if it does it the wrong way, it might just slam straight in without being plugged in properly. And that's my concern with it at the moment. Plug in right in the middle.
I know someone here mentioned putting them in backwards. I don't know how you would put them in backwards, but
please don't.
I would imagine
do that.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that the magnets, reverse polarity or whatever, if you try to put it in the wrong way, the magnets will just keep it from happening.
Is that how we destroy the universe now? We're gonna put the Joy-Cons in the wrong way, and it will have such a magnetic force that it will literally make a black hole. I don't know.
The pins have a little give so that they can wiggle while when removing and connecting. Okay, that's helpful. It's kind of like a USB-C. It's kind of like a USB-C port.
I still think wear and tear will happen eventually. Where
Right.
eventually it'll just go, oh, it's broken.
Yeah, I think that might get a redesign, or just honestly for myself, I would probably be careful. But if you are like a parent with young kids, good luck, have fun, be prepared to buy more Joy-Cons, or get yourself a Pro controller and just be done with this nightmare.
I would imagine, call me crazy, I would imagine that the magnet system is more favorable for when you drop it versus the slide-in mechanism, because if you drop it the wrong way with the slide-in mechanism, you're going to break the controller, whereas the magnet, it has the opportunity to pop off, but then again, to do the magnet, you need to click the clicker to take it off.
Yeah, you do, yes, and the button's a lot bigger on this one compared to the buttons on the normal Switch.
So time will tell on that thing.
Yes.
I don't know, dude. The 3DS Switch was a fragile piece of shit, and that thing still held up like for decades, for kids. So
true.
Not decades, but like a decade for kids. So we'll see what happens there. But I think it'll be fine. And honestly, I don't think you can put it in the wrong way because you have to hold the trigger to do it. The trigger is what activates the magnets, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And then clicks it into place. Cool design. Cool design. Hopefully it's durable. Yeah. More game announcements here. We have Metroid Prime 4. We have footage. Yeah. It looks fucking gorgeous.
It looks so good.
It looks so good.
I'm not even the biggest Metroid guy, but like using the mouse and the Joy-Con in the left hand, that would sell that game for me.
Yeah.
I need to try.
And yes, the mouse control with the stick is pretty nice. It looks beautiful. Did they give a release date on that, or did it just say 2025?
It just said 2025. There was no official release date for it.
Okay. A couple more game announcements here. We are getting Elden Ring Tarnished Edition on the Nintendo Switch. Holy shit, they're gonna put Elden Ring on this fucking thing.
Yeah, that was a big surprise because I mean, maybe not.
No, because they did Dark Souls. They did the Dark Souls remaster.
They did Dark Souls on the original one, yes. Dark Souls remaster got on well.
It's not out of the realm of things. So Elden Ring, that's totally... And I mean, Elden Ring runs on a Steam Deck. So it's not completely out of the realm of things.
I mean, if you're going to be honest here, chat, we've seen a video of an Elden Ring running on a calculator. So, just saying.
Fucking smart fridge. Yeah. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. This is the fighting game style games that take place in a Zelda universe. It tells the story before Tears of the Kingdom, before the war.
It tells the story of what happened to Zelda when during the story, because obviously spoiler alerts for Tears of the Kingdom, you haven't played it yet, but Zelda gets sent back in time and then she has a whole journey through there, and it basically tells that story. So it's kind of a prequel, but also an in-between story of like what happened, pretty much.
Yeah, because it's still post Breath of the Wild.
Yes, still post Breath of the Wild, but like kind of sort of like in the middle of like the start of Tears of the Kingdom, pretty much, in terms of like, what happens. And I'm excited because I enjoyed the other Hyrule Warriors game.
Okay, I got really excited for this. The Deltarune, which is, I think it's a sequel to Undertale, or it takes place alongside Undertale.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm fucking all about it.
Yeah, a lot of people were thinking, oh my gosh, this is like Silk Song levels of when the fuck will it ever release?
Yeah.
And would you look at that? Not only is it coming to Switch 2, but it's also Chapter 3 and 4 going to be there on launch day.
Yep, on launch day.
That's really cool. And they announced Silk Song. They announced Hollow Knight Silk Song.
They showed 6 seconds of it.
I saw so many people. 5 seconds. Yeah.
I saw so many people lose their minds.
There's bigger fish to lose their minds over here. Let's see here. What else do we got? Fucking crazy to me. Final Fantasy Remake is getting a Switch 2 release. That's nuts.
True.
Actually, I expected that.
Yeah. Oh, did you expect that? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been a little too beefy for it, but I mean, who knows? The one that's really fucking mind-blowing.
From Software is also joining. Square Enix is joining From Software, and they're kind of beef with Sony, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. Okay. So, Final Fantasy VII Remake, if you did not play it on your PlayStation or PC or whatever, now you can get it on your Nintendo Switch. I get it, because some people just invest in a Switch and call it a day. Cyberpunk, what the fuck is Cyberpunk? This shit barely ran on launch day on a PS4, and now it's on a Switch.
I as soon as I saw Cyberpunk 2077 was announced, my immediate thought was that freaking scene in the game. I was like, wait the fuck up, samurai. We have a Switch to burn.
But just knowing that the shit that game went through on launch day with fucking the PS4 and all that, I'm like,
I've been told it's 100% better after 2023 DLC release.
Yeah, and it's also like a lot more optimized.
Yeah,
so there was another 3 years.
it was a bad. It should have taken 3 years longer to make.
Yeah, it got the No Man's Sky treatment.
It did. I'm hoping that CD Projekt Red has learned their lesson.
So there's that. You're getting some more random stuff here. Project 007. Fucking, who knows if it's GoldenEye? Who knows if it's the new James Bond coming from MGM or Amazon now? But we're getting some form of 007. You're getting a Street Fighter 6 release, which is cool. Split Fiction's coming. No surprises there. We're getting our usual shit here. Here's a big long list. We're getting some random shit here, but not unusual. You're getting your EA Madden. You're getting Football Club. You're getting 2K, NBA, WWE. Hogwarts Legacy, which is not surprising. This was
sorry. My biggest surprise was seeing Enter the Gungeon 2 being showcased.
That was cool.
I was like, holy moly, okay.
I thought you were excited for Yakuza 0 Director's Cut.
I was, and I was excited for Zen 2 because now Zen can play it on the Switch too.
Yeah, we're getting Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. Borderlands 4, okay.
Yeah.
That was a surprise, but I don't really care about Borderlands.
Yeah. This one was kind of out of left field. The Bravely Default remaster. Bravely Default is a Square Enix game that was only released on the 3DS. 3DS. Was only released on the 3DS, where the sequels got onto the Switch. So they're getting an HD remaster there. I hope that shows up on like PC or something, because I would like to play it outside of a 3DS. Because it's a very expensive game if you want it on 3DS. Okay, we went over Yakuza 0 here. Putting Hitman. They're getting Hitman World of Assassination on there. Silk Song we talked about. Star Wars Outlaws is getting a release on the Switch. And then we have Hades 2. Hades 2 is getting a release. And then they showed they showed the usuals. You saw Fortnite, you saw Minecraft, shit like that is getting a release.
Of course.
And then
this is back.
And then the last of the third-party announcements here, fucking left field swinging. FromSoft releases a whole new property. This basically told me they're going to sell Switches. Dill's already getting a boner.
You have no idea about have you gone and watched like any reactions to people watching the direct? No. You have no idea. I saw people shitting themselves because it looked like Bloodborne 2.
Yeah,
because like Jacksepticeye, he was one of the 10 people that I watched their reactions, and he had like a freaking like clown wig and nose and everything, and he threw it away and he lost his mind because so if you didn't know, From Software wanted to make Bloodborne 2. They've been wanting to make it for a long time now, except Sony said no. So they've been in kind of like the rumor is, like, it's not confirmed, they've been in kind of like lawsuit hell with Sony, And so with Nintendo, they have a game where they can't legally call it Bloodborne 2.
Right.
But if you take a look at the environments,
Yep.
and if you take a look at just the overall just look of things, it screams Bloodborne.
It does.
I thought it was Bloodborne, and then I realized, wait, no, Sony owns that. That's not Bloodborne.
No.
But no, it's technically Bloodborne, but
So
it's not. But yes.
So basically, everyone has dubbed this the spiritual successor to Bloodborne.
So let's go ahead and let's call it here. It is called, where the fuck are you?
The Duskbloods.
The Duskbloods.
Yes, the Duskbloods. There it is. This is called the Duskbloods, DUSKBLOODS. It's a new From Software game coming exclusively. This was where I was like, oh shit, they're coming out swinging.
Yeah.
Exclusively Nintendo Switch. So they're going to sell Switches.
Yeah, fucking taking not only a mallet to Sony, but also burying them.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we're not burying Sony here. I think.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I do love Sony. You know, that's why I wanted PlayStation 5, because there's still games that probably going to come up for the PS5 that I'm excited about. But at the same time, though, holy crap. That is a big fucking message that Nintendo sent to Sony, because a lot of people, because there was like quite a few people that were like, oh wow, this is a presentation is neat and all, but like I am still not really interested in getting Nintendo Switch 2.
So
that's
depending on what you like. This may or may not be the game for you here. It's called they're calling it a PvPvE multiplayer action game. I thought it was the Night Rain thing. Like once I saw the multiple characters, I'm like, okay, this is the Night Rain, the Elden Ring Night Rain thing they're doing, but it's not. This is a new PvPvE action player multiplayer action game, which is giving us Bloodborne vibes, features a gothic looking world, and appears to be playing as a vampire as we see characters biting into someone's neck. So, do they have a more info on this? Because this is a big deal. Like, I thought out of all the announcements, this is the big deal. What do we got here? It looks like a Bloodborne sequel everyone's been asking for, but it's not named Bloodborne. This is likely because it's owned by Sony. Which hasn't seemed to show an entry interest in doing a follow-up despite high demand. That game's going to get remade. Trust me. Bloodborne will be remade.
And Callan is actually correct. Souls games are PvPvE because the thing is, though, I feel like it's probably returning to how like Bloodborne and Dark Souls would do it, where you would just get randomly invaded. Whereas in Elden Ring, you don't get invaded unless if you actually like. I mean, you can still technically like do things to get invaded, but for the most part, you have to kind of like there's a thing you have to do in order to initiate PvP. Whereas in Dark Souls, I can't tell you how many times where I did a thing and then all of a sudden it says I'm being invaded by another player. I'm like, oh fuck me.
Yep.
But
so that's probably what they've been.
So I think they said 2026 on this one. I'm gonna be straight honest with you. It is From Software. It is a Nintendo Switch 2 game, and they just fucking Nintendo sealed the deal when they will sell Switches just based on this alone.
Yeah. Yeah, like as much as I'm a huge Nintendo fan, I love my Mario Kart, I love my Kirby, I love a lot of the stuff here. But honestly, Duskbloods was by far the most fucking hype thing I've seen for Nintendo Direct ever.
Yeah. It was literally like the most surprising thing to see from Nintendo Direct, without a doubt. Like, holy moly.
Let's start getting.
It was almost the equivalent. Just one last thing. It was almost the equivalent to someone announcing like during like the Game Awards, Half-Life 3 was coming.
I think
that's how insane it was. I think
it's more akin to them like announcing a Zelda launching with it. That it's like okay, because I put it in the same equivalent. That is a big deal. From Software is not this tiny niche little company anymore. They are big time now. Like Elden Ring sent them through the roof. Yeah, I actually disagree. Okay. It's the equivalent of me. So you're right. It is the equivalent of Zelda launching, but Zelda launching either on an Xbox or PlayStation. Right. Okay.
Because no
I
one
see what you're
saw
getting at.
Bloodborne for the Nintendo Switch. So that's what I mean.
Well, we can't call it Bloodborne because it's not Bloodborne. Maybe it takes place in the universe, but it is not Bloodborne.
It wouldn't surprise me if there's some references in there.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm,
if you think about it, like From Software brings back a lot of their characters, especially
Patches.
Patches.
Patches. Yeah,
He's in every game.
Fucking Patches. So it's not. It's a huge deal. I was really, really impressed with it. Okay, let's start kind of getting down to the winding down on the game stuff here, so we can talk about the real issues. Another thing, the Nintendo Switch game, or the Nintendo Classics, they are finally adding GameCube to the mix. You can play Wind Waker, you can play F-Zero. They added Pokemon XD, or Pokemon XD's on the way, but
and Coliseum as well.
And I honked my nose when there was no Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD.
That's maybe I'm starting to believe that they're just going to let those go.
Or the reason why we got Wind Waker, not Twilight Princess, because what if the next Zelda game
remake
is a sequel? No, a sequel to Twilight Princess.
Maybe.
That I would fucking.
If they're gonna do a sequel, they also need to re-release like Twilight Princess on it. Then, if they're gonna do a sequel, they have to, because that game is nearly 20 years old.
Yeah, and the reason why I'm actually predicting this, and I don't usually like to be someone that gives like wild, guesses about something they would do, is because Nintendo has been doing this thing where they would purposely like alienate like a certain franchise or a character. Like think like, with Metroid, think with Donkey Kong, where they will make it seem like you are just absolutely forgotten. And just when all hope for anything has completely blood dry, they surprise you and hit you with something far more wonderful than you probably could have imagined.
If they're going to do it, I think now that we have new Switch hardware and stuff, maybe they'll do the Zelda, remasters or whatever, and they do like some fancy Zelda Hyrule edition shit, like they did before. Who knows? But it's really fucking upsetting that they could have done that, like, okay, Mario Kart is cool, but where is Zelda with it? Like, I mean, give me something.
Well, we just had Tears of the Kingdom,
right? But there is there's a Zelda almost on a yearly cycle to some extent. We got what's it called last year?
No,
Echoes of
Tears
Wisdom.
of the Kingdom took like 5-6 years to
no,
develop.
but they would. There's that's what I'm saying. There's always something in the mix. You used to get 3DS remakes in between them. Now we're getting we
Breath
got
of the
Echoes of
Wild,
Wisdom.
Tears of the Kingdom, Switch 2 upgrades.
Yeah.
And Age of the Age of Imprisonment.
Right, but
the Imprisoning Worm.
Yeah, I guess they could qualify that. But like, it's like last year we got Echoes of Wisdom.
And that's coming from someone that does not care about Hyrule Warriors at all.
Yeah. It's upsetting. I think that what pisses me off, but again, here's where my stuff starts to boil again, because they're getting kind of greedy with this. Now, I understand this might be a hardware limitation. I don't fucking think it is. But you're only going to get the GameCube stuff on the Switch too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would sell Switches.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that if they announced it for the Switch 1, they would be shooting themselves in the foot.
Right.
They would.
Yes.
So,
it's to buy. It's to
it
sell.
It can definitely
Switches.
run on a Switch 1.
Oh, yeah.
It is to sell Switch 2s.
Yes.
So, like, I get their, their strategy for this.
Yes.
And they're still like launching games for the Switch 1, for a while until it continues to sell Switches.
We're gonna see Switch 1 up until 2 years into this thing, probably. Again, it annoyed me and it irked me. I get it. Yeah, they want to sell Switch 2s. I mean, okay, yeah, your business, sell Switch 2s or whatever. Yada yada yada. Fuck it, I'll take my money to the aquarium still. So, if you put it on the Switch, I'll bite. And I'll be like, okay, I'll go and play GameCube on the Switch online. But if I need a Switch 2 to do it, I'm not in that boat yet. There is that. And then the last two big closers for video games were the Kirby Air Ride sequel.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
You're excited. It looks gorgeous.
I played lots of Kirby Air Ride.
And it's a Sakurai game, so, you know.
I got a funny little story to tell you.
Uh-oh. What happened?
So when the Direct happened, my brother, him and I used to play tons of Kirby Air Ride. So he wasn't home during the Direct, but I also didn't want to spoil for him. Say, oh my gosh, just go watch the Direct and let me know what you think. And he said, okay, I finished watching it, and he's like, I'm so hyped. Mario Kart looks so good. He's like, yeah, and doesn't Kirby Air Ride 2 look so good? And he's like, wait, that was announced? I'm like, yeah. When you think the new Donkey Kong? And he's like, what the fuck? I didn't see that either. Turns out that his partner accidentally paused the Direct in the middle of it and thought that they were done. So I accidentally spoiled. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sakes.
Nice.
Good job.
Good job.
I did.
Yeah, Kirby Air Ride looks gorgeous. It's a Sakurai game, so he's fresh off of Smash Brothers.
Fresh out from Smash Bros. And ready to part into the next project.
Honestly, because that was his baby, and I think it's cool that he wants to return doing Kirby games.
Yeah, he probably wants to chill.
I get the feeling that he is burnt out from Smash Brothers, and I feel that if there is going to be Smash Brothers, it could be developed by someone entirely different.
Oh, it'll be a new team. It'll be a new director and stuff. Yeah, I think he's done with that. Kirby Air Ride, and then they finished with Donkey Kong of the Wild, which
Donkey Kong Odyssey.
Donkey Kongasy.
Yeah,
Donkey Kong. It's I'm not the biggest Donkey Kong fan, but it does look cool. You're basically
great.
Exploring underground.
The first 3D DK game since DK64. That's how long it's been.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Wait, weren't the Returns games, Donkey Kong Country Returns and stuff, weren't those? Or
those
are
2D.
Those are 2D.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're great games, but they're 2D.
Donkey Kong Usi. What the fuck, Morgan?
What the fuck, Morgan?
Morgan, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Stop fucking the horse.
Oh no, she's doing it again.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, calm down. It's like a rabbit. Yeah, it looks cool. You're underground, a lot of underground exploring. It's free open world, it looks like, and you're smashing shit, and it looks rad.
And I saw the Treehouse gameplay of it. You can literally smash everything. Everything that you see is breakable, and then you can throw stuff at it and stuff. Like, literally.
Yeah.
All of it.
That sounded like, I thought that said it sounded like my squeaky car brakes. I was like, you need to get that fixed.
You do.
Not that kind of smash. Morgan, contain yourself.
Morgan, please calm down. You can only smash, inanimate objects, not human beings.
Damn. She says otherwise. But it's it looks rad. Donkey Kong looks pretty rad.
Mm-hmm. It's made by the same team that did Odyssey.
Literally, yeah.
Yep.
So now we know what they were working on.
Very cool.
So that means we might need to wait another year or two for a 3D Mario, which
Mario's
I'm
probably
okay
gonna
with.
Be, wait a minute. Okay, so this, I'm going to say this probably covers the June announcements.
Yeah.
We're probably not getting Mario
September
next year. We're not going to get Mario till next year.
Yeah.
Maybe holiday the following year. And honestly, I would love to see this actually kind of this is actually really cool because not only will it keep the fans of Mario Odyssey really happy, but the next 3D Mario, they could just have it closer to either Super Mario 3D World or Bowser's Fury. And if you haven't played Bowser's Fury, what an incredible game.
I got to try Bowser's Fury. I don't think I did it yet.
It's so good.
It's really good.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they're going to need something to sell Switches to next year because, as we're going to get into right now, there's going to be a lot of people that are out this year. There's going to be a lot of people that are out this round. Here we go. The initial pricing $499 for the base unit, and then $450 for the base unit, and then $499 with Mario Kart included.
Yes.
Wait, did I get that correct? Hold
you
on.
did.
I did.
Yes.
Okay, I did get the correct. Okay, got it. So
Yep,
$450 for the base unit. This is already more expensive than the Switch 1, even if you account for inflation. And then 2, it's significantly more than your standard Nintendo hardware launch releases.
Yeah, this is probably the first time since the Nintendo GameCube where they actually had like the system that was it's probably not quite like on the same in terms of like processing power with the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series, whatever the fuck.
It's equivalent to a 4.
Like, it's like PS4 actually Pro. It's probably like a PlayStation 4.5.
Yeah, something like it's in the Pro range. Almost. It's a PS4 Pro range that you're getting in a handheld here. So, okay, here we go. So that was the launch pricing. Pre-orders were set to go live in the US on April 9th. And then they did promise a release of June 2025. Here and then, if you did not know, yesterday they delayed the US pre-order for yesterday or for April 9th. They are delaying the US pre-orders, but the date of release is still
June
solid.
5th.
Still June
5th.
Yeah.
That still stands. As we know, here's where things are going to get semi-political. As we know, the U.S. announced, blanket tariffs across all countries for imports coming into the U.S. From what I understand, Nintendo covered the initial tariff pricing in this price, but and then from what I understand too, they may have moved manufacturing from China to Vietnam to circumvent those extended costs, and then the U.S. Government hit Vietnam with a significant tariff, which may have
even higher than Japan
or China. And
I actually had the percent list here.
Vietnam's like 30% or something.
Vietnam is 46%, and Japan is 24%.
Oh.
So basically, if you think about it, like Nintendo moved it from China to Vietnam, but here's the thing though. They actually did, apparently they brought like a whole bunch of like Switch 2s to the United States before those tariffs take place. So I think they might not go through if it's already been imported. However, though, if you're someone trying to get a Switch 2 in the future, good luck, have fun.
Yep.
Because those Switch 2s are going to increase by like $150, maybe even $200.
I don't think it's going to go up this much and I'll explain why, or at least my thinking why. But let's talk about the elephant in the room here. Okay, so the tariff thing's going to become a problem. People, all I can say is buckle up because all our shit's about to get expensive.
Yeah,
computer parts.
This isn't just like affecting like video games. This is affecting the entire tech industry.
Right. And
honestly, even if you're someone that does not care about politics, like, well, it doesn't affect me. Well, hey, if you are on the internet, if you have a computer, everything is about to become much more expensive.
Now,
this affects you.
This is the problem is, yes, everything's going to go up in price. They already talked about the auto industry. I think I talked about it a pod or two ago where Pow and I actually went and got new cars.
Yeah.
Before this whole situation, because we knew there was a strong possibility this was going to happen. And then what we bought the 3D printer. We bought I bought an iPad. I bought any technical based hardware that I thought I would need for the next year or two, minus PC upgrades, which is going to fuck me. But here's the thing we're looking at too. So there's a couple ways Nintendo can go about this. One, as now Zenith had already mentioned, they ship a bunch of Switches to the US already. and then only future shipments are affected by the tariff. There's also the possibility, again, that the tariffs could be negotiated and lowered. That's also a possibility, which might realistically happen.
Or not, because we know this administration just doesn't give a fuck.
Right. Well, it's the idea of, I don't like the guy much more than anyone else that doesn't like the guy, right? But I think the approach is you use the tariff as negotiation tactics to negotiate better tariff deals amongst both sides. I think that's the idea. I'm hoping that's the fucking idea, is that someone will buckle, because this is not sustainable in any way. Now, I know Canada, and I know China have already come and said, no, we're not budging. Let's be fucking realistic. Money talks. And then once shit starts affecting both sides of the country, that's when people start bargaining at the table. That's the reality of the situation.
We're waiting for someone to come to the fucking table, Eric, and nobody is, because one side doesn't want to listen.
Well, yeah, it's a fucking game of chicken. It's a game of chicken. That's what it is. It's a game of chicken.
It's a game of my stick is bigger than yours, and that's kind of just where we are.
Well, I'm saying chicken in the sense of who's going to cave first and who's going to come to the table first. That's what I mean by chicken.
Yeah, but there's just no reason for any of this.
No reason for any of this. It's disastrous in terms of economy and stuff like that. But, again, we're not going to try to get too political with this. But the core of this thing here is this is going to affect these releases. This is the core of this. This is going to affect releases like this. Nintendo's probably already pissed.
Yeah,
Nintendo's plans have already been
tariffs
fucked.
Literally on the day of their fucking direct.
Yeah,
they did.
Which, I mean, like I said, if you're Nintendo, you knew this was coming, or there was a strong possibility this was coming, and you plan as best as you can. Now, there's a couple things that can happen. Again, we went back to it. The tariffs get lifted, they get renegotiated, or Nintendo readjusts and they adjust profit margins, and then, they take some of the, because you can't necessarily, and I'll explain why I feel this way. You can't necessarily be like, oh, our tariff's 34%. We're going to jack it up 34% price-wise, because then you run into a problem where people don't buy the product, and then you're sitting on product. So something has to give. If people aren't buying product, then obviously you have to lower price.
I think what they might do is if they are sitting on product, they probably would ship more consoles to areas that probably wouldn't have to deal with tariff and pricing. Like, for example, they're like, hey, so if this side is being hammered with a lot of their tariffs and they're not buying as much, well, how about we ship it more to units to like either the UK and South America, Canada, or wherever it might be, where people will probably be able to pony up the cash for them without having, like such outrageous tariffs being applied to them.
Right, but then you also cannot ignore a valid install base of, whatever millions of people that buy video games in the U.S.
It still sucks either way. Yeah. So I agree.
So that's the thing. You can't ignore that thing. But what's going to happen too, and then here's the thing now, Nintendo's in a very tight spot because this thing was already fucking, I'm going to say it right here, right now, this thing's already overpriced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's how I feel about it. You can argue it with me. You can be like, why do you feel that this thing's already overpriced? So
yeah,
putting that into.
Can I put a couple things into perspective though?
Let's put it into perspective.
So, obviously, I agree. It is overpriced. It is a lot. The games themselves are what, like $10, $20 more expensive. Yeah. So mind you though, like the biggest increase is with the first party hardware. So it sucks, but I can kind of get it. But it stings, and it's like, couldn't you just do it like, keep the increase, just smaller, if anything. But nothing to put into perspective. Like, aside from this being like a way better console, or like way more powerful than the Switch one, or what like a lot of people were predicting, is if you take a look at the 90s. Mm-hmm. In the 90s, a lot of the games cost $60.
Yeah.
Which was, and if you take into consideration, if you take inflation, if the cost of video games matched like the inflation since the 90s, you'd be paying like $120, $130 to play video games. But back then, it was more like a niche hobby.
Right, correct.
Now, here's the thing. These tariffs are dangerous because they are going to threaten what is now like globally enjoyed and sells millions and millions and millions of units to more of a niche hobby because of how this pricing is. So
to the
I
point,
personally,
sorry, to the point to where I just want to add to that there, to the point to where the companies of the world that do this stuff, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, etc., Valve, they could go to the administration, threaten to sue the administration and say, your tariffs have grossly injured my business. You know, you've caused direct damage to my business model, etc., etc. That can happen.
Yeah, and people were saying is like, oh well, why don't you just like I saw some like couple fucking idiots saying this is like, well, why don't you just buy like a Microsoft that's made in America?
No, it's not.
Mexico was helping develop some of those Xboxes, so you're gonna have to pay tariffs from them. So good luck, have fun.
Right. No matter what, you're getting a price increase on all this. It's just a matter of how much. So what I'm getting at, which are all very valid points that Zenith has stated. And like I said, let's be realistic, people. Let's be realistic here. You really think the Apple and, the Microsofts of the world, the Hewlett Packards, and I'm talking about big players in the tech world. We're not talking about video game companies. I'm talking about the big players. We're talking about the Apple, the Googles that manufacture hardware, Cisco, all these companies that manufacture hardware that are used in enterprise environments and literally power the backbone of our communicative world. You think they're going to sit there and take this shit and be like, oh yeah, thanks Trump, and then wipe it off their chin? No, they're going to fight back, and they're going to make it clear that this shit hurts their business. Like I said, Apple, I can tell you right now, Apple's not going to sit quietly on this whole fucking thing. Apple has cell phones and iPads to sell. They're not going to let some dipshit up at the top ruin that party. So Nintendo's going to be in the same boat. Now, getting back to my point here, you're putting this thing in a price right. And Zenith makes a very valid point. Back in the 90s, video games were $90. Like with inflation, they were $90 and et cetera, to today's price.
Yeah, so like we've been lucky for the most part that like games have been relatively like the same price for like many, many years. And just recently in a few years, we've been seeing like, those like steeper increases in price, but also like bear in mind that like there is like the development teams are way bigger. There are a lot more that goes into. There's far more development time of these games. Mind you, though, they sell a lot more because it's no longer just a niche hobby. This is something that almost everyone enjoys. But at the same time, though, because like it's like still so harsh. But there's one thought I had with the Switch game pricing is I wonder if maybe it's priced like that so that way they could do potential sales in the future and lower the price, because that it would probably be easier to do so. Because if you think about like from the business perspective, sometimes companies launch products that are priced in a way where if they see that the cost itself is hurting, because it's better to lower your price than to try and increase it.
Right.
To try and increase the price.
They're going to have to eat costs somewhere. Now let's look at this in perspective here too. Yeah. So Zenith, you make a very valid point, but from looking at it outside of a gamer's world, right, or gamer's perspective or whatever, we're talking about the mom and dads that are showing up at Walmart, Christmas shopping. They're going to see a $90 increase over the previous, or a $30 increase over the previous $60. They're not going to care. Oh yeah, this is what there was back in the 90s. We're back to that. They're going to look at it and be like, no, this shit's $30 more. We're not going to be able to afford this. We have food to put on the table this year,
which is also going up in price.
Right. So there's going to be a thing. Now you look at the other factors of it. Okay. Now this is going to cause the other stuff to go up in price, but you are looking at a Nintendo Switch 2 and the price of its hardware. And then you start looking at the alternatives, your Steam Decks. Yep. Steam Deck. Valve's going to run into this problem too. Valve's going to have a price increase also, but you're going to look at the hardware perspective of, you're going to be like, okay, I can get this Steam Deck for my kid and he has access to all these PC games he already may have, or these games go on sale dirt cheap for $10 to $20, 5 times out of the year, versus Nintendo, where I'm going to pay this inflated price for this hardware plus this inflated price for these games. I might go look at a Steam Deck, or God forbid, this is not what Nintendo wants. They are going to go start looking at used PS5s, used Xboxes, and then that's the route they're going to go. That's the route they're going to look at and be like, you know, oh, I'll get my kid a PlayStation. It's cheaper. You know?
Well, but here's the thing. That stock will run out eventually because any used... eventually you will get to... If you want a brand new PS5, how much is the PlayStation 5 right now?
5?
Depends on which version.
No, hold on. I'll get that for you real quick. Continue. I'll get that price for you.
Yeah, because PlayStation 5s in like a brand new PlayStation 5 will probably be like $800, $900 US before you know
PS5. So right now, as of today, PS5 Slim is $499. And it looks like the Pro, which I'm going to have a hard time getting a decent price on because it's semi-inflated right now because of demand or supply. But you're looking at roughly $700.
Okay, so
what about the
700.
price of the original PS5 used?
The original PS5 was $600 at launch. No, $500 at launch.
No, but I mean, like, now. If you look for an OG PS5 that is used.
Okay, let's take a look at that. So, PS5 Pro, according to Best Buy, is... fuck me.
Yeah, after these tariffs...
$699. $100 increase fold. Easy.
So, what I'm actually trying to figure out is... if a PlayStation 5 is coming from... is developed in Japan... And the PlayStation 5 Pro developed in Japan, and then after the tariffs, with the 24% tariff, people are paying $868, and that's without tax.
That's a Pro, right?
Yeah, this is Pro.
Right, and they're like I said too.
$868.
Most of these companies are not going to be able to just slap the full price of the tariff on the product because it's going to halt sales. Like they need to sell product. So
honestly, I think a lot of these companies will have to lower their prices, and it will come with lawsuits.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So looking at games to answer Dill's question right now, looking at GameStop, a used PS5 Slim is roughly $390, just shy of $400. That's a digital version. A
version will probably be like $30 or $40 more.
Yeah, $430 for a used one with the disc drive.
So if it's $390 after tariffs, it'll be $483.60.
Yeah.
So that is a $93 increase.
I think what you're going to see, and you can, this all remains to be seen. I don't have all the answers. People here don't have all the answers. I think what we're going to see is we're going to get an increase of half the tariff. Because they're not going to be able to slap the full price of the tariff. I think it's going to come to a halt where people just won't buy the product.
Mm-hmm. And at least in the U.S.
Yeah, they need to sell the product to... And I'm looking at this from a U.S. perspective. Let's be real. Yes, there's tons of people that buy shit in the UK, China, Japan, etc. But U.S. is a huge market.
Mm-hmm.
So, if not one of the top primary markets. So... to lose the money there. Now that's the other thing. Again, playing the politics game here. The money that, let's say, for example, China or, Sony works out a deal for manufacturing in China, the tariff from China to Japan lowers. Or not China to Japan, like China to the UK lowers, right? Well, they have no tariff, or it's 5%, right? They can offset that cost to the US tariff and lower the price that way. It's kind of, you get what I'm getting at? Mm-hmm. They're saving money here so they can apply it to the price where they have the real problem, if that makes sense. So, because they have no choice. They have no choice. They cannot just slap the full price of the tariff for the U.S. sales because the product won't move.
Well, maybe they will. Yeah. Because all I've kind of learned in the past almost 3 months is there's just nothing but completely incompetent people that just don't give a single fuck about the future of your country.
Right. And again,
but that's just my opinion.
The launch day stuff matters to an extent but then again, the reality is the people that want one and are going to buy one, they're going to get it on launch, right?
Yeah. And this whole thing is the reason why they never announced the pricing during the direct, because they know that there will be some blowback. They didn't want to ruin the hype of the direct. And I actually respect that they did that, because I understood why people were just like, what the fuck? After the direct.
Yeah. It's absurd. I thought, no tariff. I thought the price is absurd. But what's really going to matter, like I said, the people that want it on launch, they're going to buy it on launch. There is no question about that, right? The real test and the real questions and the real stuff's going to be answered come holiday time, when moms and dads are lining up to go buy their kids Christmas gifts. If they're going to buy their kids Christmas gifts, that's going to be the real question of if they're moving product. That'll be the real test. And that'll be a real test of the pricing. Because the core audience is important, people. The core audience is important, but these companies, they are concerned about your average mainstream person they want to sell shit at Christmas. That is the goal. If that makes sense. They want to sell the product at Christmas. And wild fucking times right now.
Yeah. I love living through historical events.
Like I said, I'm a millennial, dude. This is the third, fourth round at the bullshit buffet. I'm ready for another plate.
Yeah, I've had some bullshit buffets before.
Yeah.
But this one is literally just someone taking a giant fucking dump in my mouth.
Yeah.
This is not fun.
Yeah. I've seen enough bullshit. It's cake. I've seen enough bullshit in my lifetime to where I know bullshit when I see it. And like I said, this is not going to be sustainable. This is not going to be sustainable.
I do have my thoughts and theories on that, but that is not for the podcast.
Okay.
But
it's not sustainable, but it's going to be one of those things. It's going to be one of those things like I said, the holidays are going to come around. That's going to be the real test of shit. Nintendo's like, oh, we sold, gangbusters at holiday, because that's what really, really matters at the end of the day. When they get to the end of the fiscal cycle, end of the fiscal year, they look at how they did during the holidays.
Well, we shall see.
Yeah. And if they don't push product, it's going to be a common. You're going to see all kinds of shit from this. Like I said, and I'm not even talking about your Nintendos or Sonys at all. I'm talking about the big players, your Apples, your Googles, your fucking Ciscos of the world, where it's like, we're already paying 5 figures for, network switches and routers and shit like that for our businesses. That's going to be the real fucking factor. Those companies are not going to go fucking quietly and let, that shit happen to them. Because
we're going back to trampling people at Black Friday, Gallon.
Trample people at Black Friday, because I wholeheartedly believe, if you look at the realities of it, the people that have the money are the ones that control what goes on, right? And the people that have the money are going to be pissed when they start fucking losing money,
which they already are.
Well, not to point this out.
My soapbox is crumbled now. I'm good on the soapbox.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you want one, June, what was it? 9th? 5th? What was the day?
June 5th.
June 5th. If you want one, June 5th's your day. Good luck out there. I'm out this round, I think.
Gonna need it.
I think I'm out this round. This will be one of the few. Unsure. I think this is one of the few days where I'm not an early adopter.
I'm unsure.
That's okay.
Yeah. Valve's keeping me warm at night with the Steam Deck. So we'll see what happens. Anyone have anything else before?
The thing is with me as well is that I didn't buy a Switch on release. I only bought a Switch when they were announcing a Pokemon game on the Switch.
I couldn't get one on release. I had to wait a couple weeks.
I actually waited about a year to get my Switch You would not believe what got me to buy a Switch 1. And it was, they announced Monster Hunter Double Cross for Japan, which turns out into Monster Hunter 4 Generations. And I pretended I was a man who lived on Mount Fuji just so I can play the game. So I can play with my coworkers.
Nice.
Yep. I actually did that.
Meh.
Crazy.
But, yeah.
So there you go. Anyone have anything else before we wind out here?
I'm good. I'm just trying to do my best to, try and focus on like the things that excited me because that's the thing is, let's be real. Games are a great distraction from a lot of the stuff that's going on in the world. And when it invades our space, Jesus fucking Christ, it makes us all cranky as shit. And we have every right to be.
Burn if
so
down.
Yeah, I think on that note, with all the shit that's going on in the world right now, like it's fucking borderline disastrous, and it's really fucking fucked up what's going on in the world right now. Do realize that you don't have to keep consuming it. You can. I'm at the point
yourself off.
Right now, I'm at the point right now where I read just enough to know what's going on, and then I turn it off. Because Reddit, the Reddits of the world, the doom scrolling of the Instagram, the TikTok political, all that stuff, it's going to wear and it's going to eat at you. And you got to realize some of it's grossly extreme. Some of it's underestimated. You cannot get an accurate assessment from those information fronts. Like I said, it's important to know what's going on, but know just enough to what you need to know to what's going on. Don't deep dive into it. Don't fucking, doom scroll into each and every corner of it. It is not healthy for your mental health. It's going to destroy you. It's going to wreck you. What you can do is you can be be cautious about your spending. Don't buy frivolous shit that you don't need. And
another thing is to be kind in your spaces.
Yeah.
Because not only do you need it for yourself, but just being able to be kind to others and try and give them like a space where they can feel safe, and give them like some breathing room from everything that's going on in the world. Because now more than ever, like people need each other because it's dark, and sometimes all you need to do is just turn on the light for others.
And there's a lot of this discourse now too, where it's like, oh, well, now the people that voted the way they voted can now reap what they sow, and they can eat the shit that they ordered at the dinner table. That's not necessarily the right thing to go about it too, because maybe there are people that woke up and realized that, whoa, maybe I was fucking lied to, or I was sold something. I
actually know people that was like, fuck, what the hell?
Right. That, maybe there is this burden of guilt on them now. And now they're in the same boat you are, where they're like, I fucked up. And now I have this guilt on who did I really affect in the world with my fucking decision making. So, I mean, again, it's important to listen to what people have to say and why they pick or why they go the way they go. It's important to understand what both sides are thinking so you can develop your own personal thoughts about it. And I'm going to tell you right here, right now, it is okay to be in the middle and be like, you know what? That part is partially right. I partially agree with that, or I think that is a valid point. But no, that's not a valid point. Like, it's okay to be in the middle. The internet right now is selling you on this argument that you need to be on one side or the other. And that's not necessarily true. It's okay to be in the fucking middle and believe what you believe and be like, you know what? I don't necessarily like the way that works, or I don't like the way this is. It's okay to believe that. If anything, I encourage you to be in the middle, because that puts you in the fucking boat of a reasonable person, rather than these extremists that sit on one side versus the other. And then, be like Zenith said, to make it short, be kind to each other out there. Like, realize that, okay, people might have made a fucking mistake and they were sold on something that they didn't necessarily, which happened. Extremism gets us nowhere. Thank you, Morgan.
Yeah. Just at the same time though, just do us a favor, don't vote for fascist. Please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, don't vote for fucking fascists. And fucking people that bankrupt fucking casinos.
Yeah.
Bankrupt money printing machines. Like,
Come on, the evidence was there.
It's a real winning achievement, so yeah, be kind to each other out there. We're all going to feel this grunt of this shit now. We're all going to feel it, like I said. And, maybe it's a reality wake-up call we kind of need. Like, it's like maybe we fucking do spend too much on fucking video games,
Yeah.
This whole shit makes you kind of realize where you're like, this is $450. This is overpriced. I had no problem. And I'm a Nintendo fan. It's on the walls back here. I've spent lots of money at Nintendo over the years. Yeah. But even I sat there and I woke up and I said, that shit's overpriced.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I'm a huge fucking Nintendo fan. My entire life has revolved around playing them. But even then, if shit smells, I will call it out. And
yeah.
I mean, I will put things in perspective, yes. But at the same time, though, it still feel, like if something's not fair or if they're not like, putting in a fucking effort, call them out.
Yeah.
But I think we should also wrap this up because maybe that's something we need to do is be kind to ourselves and play some video games tonight.
Good call. We're going to go play some video games.
I'm going to bed.
Dale's going to go to bed. He's going to hide under the covers.
He's
with
dreaming
his 3DS.
of Iron Mario. Sorry, Ironmon.
Iron Mario.
Dreaming is a big word there, honestly. More like nightmaring.
I got drugs to sell. What the fuck?
Drugs?
Oh, yeah. That's, have you seen that game? It's called Schedule 1.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's basically you're creating like a drug empire.
It's GTA, but like cartoonish.
I thought remember that one that was on calculators, the drug dealer one that was on your calculator?
Yeah. So the game is kind of funny. Like I tuned into someone's stream just for like 20 seconds just to see what it is. And within 20 seconds, he watered his marijuana plants. And then he went and sold meth to a guy. And then he went around him, crouched, and stole the meth that he sold him right out of his back pocket. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's awesome. Okay, I'm all about this. This looks awesome. What was that Switch game where you robbed houses?
Animal Crossing.
No, fuck no. That's Tom robbing you.
No, that was me with Morgan. I took all her shit and I just dug up all her rocks. No, I broke all the rocks.
I think it's Thief Simulator where you literally play a house like a burglary robber.
Probably is. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember that. I forget what it's called though.
Yeah. Good shit. Excuse me. Broke my rocks. What a Canadian asshole.
Wow.
She making it loud and clear. Rocks. Be nice to each other out there. All right. We're going to wind down out of here. Couple things we got going on. Next episode is, I never had the fucking calendar open.
It is the 19th, correct?
Next episode is the 19th. So we'll go ahead and catch you then. We've got stuff in the works. Pow and I are working on a split fiction playthrough.
Okay. Also, one quick thing. I might not be available for the next podcast because believe I'm going up to my brother's place because he wants to do something for my birthday.
Double fire.
I will fire you. I will divorce his podcast. And I'm expecting the prenup.
I'll just hire fucking Morgan. That will really fucking chap your ass.
I'll hire Davey.
That will really chap your ass. No, you go see your brother. That's perfectly fine. Just let us know. But yeah, we'll be back on the 19th. And then Pow and I have a split fiction playthrough we're working on.
Nice.
Got some other things in the works for you that I don't want to fully disclose yet. Trying to find his copy of Sonic 06. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to get that going. So yeah, we'll see you back on the 19th. Guys, this is Good Friends, Good Games, and we'll see you again soon.
Goodbye.